Okay. So how you been?
I've been good. Hi, Namdi. How are you?
Doing well. So you've got I think you've got your single out last week. How has that been promoting it?
Um, it's going pretty good so far. It got added to a few stations and um to people's, playlist, and especially in the UK because I have Jay Ross working on it for me. Um, which is a good thing because when you're independent, you know, you don't have any push. And a lot of times most independent artists, they don't have money for radio, and radio want money now. So whole mess.
uh, yeah. But I mean, so it came out last week. It's but how do you track how it's doing? And is it the streaming you're looking at? If it's radio, I mean, and what? I know apart from reposting it, what else can you do to really try and get the word out?
I mean, from my other doing my other songs, because I'm always testing the water with something, with something.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing that I see that you can really do is you have to, like, it's more about promoting it yourself. You have to push yourself, and that's hard. That's hard. You got to keep coming up with, more and more things to do to make people. It's like radio. When radio plays a song, and I know because the record label MCA, Universal, they had all these big records, right? So all these artists that were big, the Bobby Browns, the New Edition, Patti LaBelle, Gladys, um, trying to think, Jody Watley, Stephanie was there. Then you had all of Uptown, so you had a lot of people from Uptown, um, Uptown Records. So you had Mary, Jodeci, um, Father MC, Albie Shore, Jeff Red. Um, oh my gosh, it was so many daggone groups. The girls,
Yeah.
it was so many groups. So the same way they take, you know, they market everything at a certain time. If you're going to come out in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, um, and then they budget the money to where the money's going to go. So they have a certain amount of money for radio. They have a certain amount of money for marketing. Um, to get you out doing stuff, and back in the day, in New York and all over really United States, but especially in New York, you have your street team, and your
Yeah.
street team go out, and they putting up your flyers everywhere and all of that. So now you don't really have a street team anymore, because if I had a street team, it'd be on and popping. You know, that's the fun part about a record. Doing a record, because I'm like, how Master P and all the rest of them. I would have my CD right in my car, and,
And just
and you know, doing what I got to do. And so it's hard to even follow your record right now, because all you're doing is looking at, okay, did it chart? Did it even get on the chart yet? Did
yeah.
it? What is it doing? How many streams does it have, or whatever? And it takes time for it to pick up. It's like a
Yeah.
song on the radio.
Yeah, I know. Well, just want to welcome those that are coming in. Aki, Yata D, all sending their love.
Hey guys, I'm putting my
Mr.
glasses on so I can see.
999 TV, everyone's all tuning in. Aki said it's a great single, loves the song. Yes, because
Thank you.
because I guess for most people it's a really strange because we either have it on Spotify and we stream it that way, or we're much on YouTube and we're watching a video, and I know those count like on YouTube and it counts, um, but it's different than when you go and buy a single that has various remixes, and but I don't know. Most cars don't even have a CD player anymore.
I know. I was looking in mine. I traded the one I had last year. I have a Honda CRV. I'm not fancy. I used to be fancy back in the day. I ain't fancy no more. No more Range Rovers and all that. I'm back to normal with the Honda. So I have a Honda CRV. My last Honda had a CD player, and
Mm,
that was a 2016. So this Honda CRV has no CD player,
yeah.
and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, so when people are trying to sell CDs, it's like, it's like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I have no place to play
Right.
it. I mean, even my laptop doesn't have a CD player in it. So, but as I said, we get to listen to the song. I mean, I think the video itself is out. How was that shooting the video? On in budget, a sort of budget video to promote your song.
Oh my gosh. So my son was going to shoot it for me, but he's going to be working on another project, and he was already kind of locked into this project. So he was like, "Mom, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to get my friends, because I'm sitting up here like, well, can we shoot it for $5? And when it's your child and they went to college for it, it's like, well, why? How come? But I always respect what my son, says to me. I don't try to bombard him with like, oh, okay, you got to do it and none of that, because he did my other ones. He did Riches of the World and If This World Were Mine when he was in college. So,
Okay.
you know, doing this one was a little different, even though he helped me. I had a budget, and what I did was I had my son put an ad up because he knows where to go for all that stuff. I don't know. I don't have a clue. So he put an ad up for a videographer. And then we put an ad up for makeup artists and actors. So we went through, the videographer stuff. We went through the actors, the pictures, seeing how they look or whatever, seeing who fit. And then I had to go through the makeup artist. But the cool thing was my girlfriend in LA, she does she's an actress, plus she's a director, a producer of film. She's working on her film now. She wanted to shoot my video, but she wanted me to come to LA, and I couldn't afford to go to LA. So she ended up being able to come to New York to do my makeup for the video. So that was a good thing. I still had the budget for the makeup, so I paid her what my budget was. But I mean, it's not easy when you're trying to do it, of course, out your own
Mm,
pocket, because a lot of people don't have it, and I don't. So
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, what we gotta do? So you robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I'm like, okay, what do I not pay so I can get this video shot? And I got to do that for the next one.
Wow.
Um, so it's all about um getting people to do like little favors that you can. If you got somebody that is doing this and somebody else is doing that, because the crazy thing is I had my photographer friend, Ronnie Wright, who is like the photographer to the stars. He's been taking pictures for everybody for years. He just had his whole thing last summer for the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Okay.
He had a whole, thing with all the pictures because he has everybody. But he came to shoot my video, and he wasn't feeling great. And he kept saying, we've been friends for 40 years. He's older than me, but I was 17 when I met him, and I'm 57 now. So he kept saying he didn't feel great, but he just said, I'm tired. And he wasn't acting like himself. So long story short, the next day, um, he started sending me the pictures because we did a photo shoot at
Okay.
the video shoot so we could do it all at one time. Because I don't live in New York anymore. I live in Delaware. So I was like, okay, we'll do it all at one time, whatever. He started sending me the pictures no, that night. He was loading them. And he started sending me a few, and he sent the pictures of us acting silly and all of that. And he had a stroke
Wow.
that night, like the next morning, like in 3 o'clock in the morning or so, 4 o'clock in the morning. So there was the pictures for the single cover. I was like, no, but then I'm like, no, Ronnie,
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's, it's messed up because I couldn't be like, because he had a mild stroke, but he's diabetic. He didn't tell me he was diabetic. He kept it from me, and because he knows that Maddie's diabetic, and I know he don't want me to worry, but I would have told him what to do. He wouldn't have been having no stroke. But
Mm.
I couldn't say, Ronnie, did you download the picture? That's so ghetto. Did you download the picture? Can you move your mouth on one side now? See, if we weren't being silly, I would have, because that's how we are with each other,
Mm.
but I was like, no, I can't do that. I want him to get better. And then he ended up getting worse. They almost let him die, and he
Wow.
ended up in ICU because he was diabetic, and the hospital wasn't taking care of his diabetes. So he ended up going DKA, diabetes ketoacidosis. That's what Madison gets when she goes in the hospital. Um, and usually that's a type 1 thing, um, but he's type 2. So he went DKA right in the hospital. And I'm like, how the hell you go DKA in the hospital? So it was just like, whole thing. They weren't watching, they weren't taking care of him. Because, here in the States now, the whole medical system is like a business. Nobody cares no more. It's in and out. They can care if you die. You can have broccoli growing out your neck. And they're like,
Mm.
oh, okay, it's growing right. So you're good. You can go home, put a little, spritz a little water on it, it'll keep growing.
Mm. Good.
So um what I had to do to get the single cover, I live in a building that is owned by this guy that owns a media company, Chris Bruce, King Creative. He I live upstairs, and it's the only apartment upstairs, and he owns, like I said, he owns the building, so he let me rent from him through Herb Middleton.
Mm.
Herb hooked me up with him, and Chris has a whole media, you know, um, company downstairs. So he has his people that shoot film and do whatever. So I was like, Chris, I need Jack to do a picture for me last minute. So we go, and it's a makeup artist on the second floor in our building. He owns the whole building, so he has makeup art. It's like a makeup artist, an esthetician, barber, and there's offices and everything on the second floor. I live on the top floor, which is the third. So I knew, the girl on the second floor that does makeup, Casey. So I was like, and she does makeup beautiful. So I was like, well, let me get Casey. Let me see if Casey will do my makeup for me. So I sent her a message, and she said, of course I will. And then Chris said yes. So we go to do the cover, go do a photo shoot for the cover. Last minute. This is all last minute. I think this was a week before the single came out. Um, yeah, it was a week before the single came out. So we go to to where we're gonna shoot. And I'm all ready. And then I got this big, stupid, heavy coat too. So we could do this like fur thing and looking crazy. And we get couple of shots, and the camera jammed. I was like, why? The camera jammed. We didn't have, maybe we had about maybe 15 pictures. So, when you're doing a photo shoot, you got hundreds of pictures so you can look at, because they click, 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 click. We had
Yeah.
about 15 pictures, and some of them was of the ground. So I just had to use what we had, and we had like four decent ones that I was like, oh man, because
How
we were
can
gonna
it?
do them in all these funky, rustic looking places and stuff. We never got. All we got was the bushes, and so that's why it's so much greenery in the
Yeah.
picture. But yeah,
How can it happen twice though? I mean, that just seems really strange. That yeah. I mean, I can.
and what's crazy about this was, well, I can't even say crazy. It's just weird about this single. Um, I've been having all kind of shenanigans with this single, and it's not bad, because when I went to do it, when I went to Vegas to work with Father in February, you know, everything was fine, everything was smooth. Then when it was time to, the stuff started getting weird when it was time to find out about the samples.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's when it was like, oh, okay, well, what's happening? So it started really from the samples, and you know, Father did something, and Rockwilder was telling me this too. Father did something that they all do. He sampled, um, he sampled the track, not knowing whose track it was, and if you sample and you can't just use a sample. You have to find whose sample it is, whose song it is, because if they don't get credit, if it blows up, you in trouble. They coming after you, whoever it
Yeah.
is. So, you know, I had my friend, his father was running around doing crazy stuff, doing whatever he was doing, and I kept saying, "What? Who's the sample? Who did you sample? Who did you sample?" And he's not telling me. He's like, "I cut up some samples or whatever." And I'm like, okay, why are you not telling me? But he didn't know, basically, because that's what he does. And Father has a great ear. Father MC has a great ear. He knows a hit. He knows a hit without blinking. But um, the thing is, when you work with people that sample, it's not an easy thing, because then you might have, you're going to run into brick walls.
Yeah.
So we ended up having, well, the song got Shazammed, right? So when you put anything, so any of y'all out there, you trying to do music and you don't know where it comes from, put it through Shazam. It'll come up and it will tell you where the song, who's it, not necessarily who it's from, but it'll tell you
Mm.
like how many people used it or whatever. So it was coming up that it came up that 3 people used it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not original. What the heck? So I'm sitting there all mad. Now I'm like, so I called Father, and I'm like, Timothy, what what is going on? Why is this song? Why does 3 other people have this track? He was like, what do you mean? I said, why does 3 other people have this track? You sampled the whole joint? And he was like, probably. Like, I'm sitting up here like, how do you just sample somebody's song? Because they do that off of YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm like, and okay, in on his on his behalf, I will say that there are producers that sell their music online.
Okay.
They allow you to buy it for use, and they still own the licensing or whatever. So a lot of people do it. I say, well, let me just, if I'm gonna do it, let me just buy it from the people that's selling the beats. I'd rather do it that way instead of trying to figure it out, because
Yeah.
that'll mess you up. So you know, I didn't know whose song it was. Like, I'm trying to get in touch with these people. Couldn't find. It was 2 guys and a girl. I couldn't find them anywhere. I found the girl. Because my friend Reese, producer, Declare, that works with me. And I say my friend because he's my brother. I called him up panicking. He was the one that put it through Shazam, and he was like, "Okay, 3 people popped up." So he said, "Here, I'm gonna send them to you." He sent them to me, and I was like, "Oh gosh, I gotta be a detective. I'm gonna find these people." So I I ended up, the 2 other guys didn't show up anywhere. The girl showed up. She popped up. I found her IG. So she was private. So I had to send her a message and um ask her to hit me back. And I didn't say, what it was.
Yeah.
I said your song that you did, and I told her the name of it, and I told her what year. And because I'm gonna tell you how old this track is in a minute, you're gonna be like, what? So I told her, I saw her video, what year, or whatever, and she said, "Oh yeah." She finally hit me back. It was almost 2 weeks later,
Okay.
about a week and a half. She hit me back and um, she said, "Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's Rockwilder." And I'm sitting up there like, "Oh gosh," because it had the name, but it didn't have Rockwilder. It had like Roll. Roll Wilder or something like that. So I was like, that's not. I was like, that's not Rock Wilder, because I'm saying no, because we're gonna be in trouble. So it ended up being Rock Wilder's. She told me she bought it from when he was selling beats on his website.
Oh.
So now I'm like, I gotta find Rock Wilder. I'm in trouble. So and then I'm telling, and I called crazy Timothy Brown up, Father MC, and I'm like, hello, this is Rock Wilder's track. He goes, good. Why? So um I hit up Easy Mobi, DJ producer Easy Mobi. I
Okay.
hit him up and I'm like, Easy, can you help me? Do you know Rock Wilder? I need help. Because I'm not thinking of who would know him. I didn't even know my one of my good girlfriends, Chanel Red, writer, Grammy nominated writer and producer. She's good friends with him. I ain't even thinking about Chanel. So I'm going all over the place. Then I'm like, okay. So Easy hits me back and um, he said, yeah, I know him, but we don't have, I don't have his phone number. So he said, let me hit him up in his DM and see if he get back to me. So he never got back to Easy, but I had already gotten him because I called my friend iRock, producer that did Let Me Lick You Up and Down and all that stuff with Silk.
Okay.
I worked with him as well. And I called I Rock to tell him the story. And I'm like, Rock, because I call him Rock. I said, Rock, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. And he was like, man, let me think. Let me think. I don't know Rock Wilder like personally, but let me think. So he was trying to help me. So we were trying to figure out how because he was like, you could send an email to his box on his, you know, for his and I'm sitting there, Lord, we're in trouble. This is terrible. The song's about to drop. And the thing was, I had to get it cleared through him because I had already had all the contracts in place for the video. So if I didn't shoot the video, I would have had to pay them anyway.
Wow.
So it was like, I'm gonna lose money. I don't have no money. I'm gonna lose my money. This is terrible, you know. And then Iraq calls me back and he goes, Jack, guess what? And I was like, what? He said, hold on. He puts his wife Treva on the phone. Treva used to work with Mary. She worked with, she was on the show with them and everything. Now she's actually, well, she was with Mona Scott for a while too. Now she's
Okay.
actually tour managing Missy Elliott new Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes, and Sierra their new tour. So she gets on the phone with me. She goes, Jackie, hey boo. So we talking for 2 seconds, and she said, "You know I got Rock Wilder's number. I know him." I said, "Oh my gosh, thank you, Treva, thank you." So she said, "Okay, I'll call him. I'll call him for you. I'll tell him the situation, and I'll tell him to give you a call." So she hits me back and she said, I'm texting you his phone number right now. You know, he knows everything. Call him up. He said he did when I got him because I sent him a message in his DM,
Okay.
and he said he got my message. He said I thought I answered you back. I said you didn't answer me back. But what the crazy thing is when we get on the phone, he was like, I was like, "Hi, Rockwilder," because I'm scared. I'm like, "Hi, Rockwilder." Yeah, your real name. And I'm like, he's like, hey, Jackie, da 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 da. And he was like, first of all, I gotta tell you what you did to my youth. And I'm like, oh Lord, now I gotta hear the whole story about make it last forever what he did. I was like, don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me. So we laughing, and I was like, I'm such a big fan of yours. I said, I've always been a huge fan of yours. And he was like, me too. He was like, I love you. And I said, I said, okay, so let me tell the truth. What had happened was I said, Father MC Timothy Brown sampled your song. So I said, um, we Shazammed it. And I said, me and my other friend, producer friend, we Shazammed it. And it came up to some other people. But of course, we pinpointed it to you. And I was like, I can't sleep without getting his approval. I was like, no, but it's so crazy. This is so crazy. I got to add this craziness to the story. First of all, he's the sweetest. the sweetest like spirit. Oh my
Wow.
gosh, so sweet. And he was like he was so sweet. He was like, you know, um, father produced it at his, in his studio, so he gets production credit. And I was like, well, I want to do the writing credit 50-50 because you produced the musical composition. This is yours. He was all, so sweet. He was like, oh, we can do it a certain way. I was like, no, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like I said, we're gonna do it just like that. So the crazy thing is when you go on his page, he has four fours on his forehead, right? I've been seeing three, four. Now he got three fours, three, three fours. He has three fours on his forehead when you go on Rock Wilder's page. I've been seeing three fours for 2 years. Did not, it blew me away when I go on his page and he has three fours on his freaking forehead. I was like, Father, I'm saying Father to the Most High, not to Father MC. I'm saying, to the Most High, you ordained this before it was done because there's no way that this is a coincidence. I was seeing these triple fours for the longest. And I'm
Wow.
like, why? What do they mean? You wanted to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, wow. Is it that it was this just the image on his page, but that's not how his
Yeah,
face is?
yeah, no tattoo or anything. Just
Okay.
a image thing he has across. And I told him that. I said, I've been seeing triple fours for almost 2 years. And I said, and then when I come to your page, the triple fours are like on your forehead on your page. And he was like, wow. Because he's very much into the most high and his walk or whatever. So but I was like, this is so deep, it's so weird because it's
Mm.
like I almost felt like the most high led me. It took this long, but it was a process to get to why I was seeing the triple fours. Now I see twos. So I'm like, what does that mean? And I know that the fours are like I don't do, numerology and all that stuff and astrology, all that stuff. I don't astrology, back in the day when you be like, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a you be all into it, but I don't do it, I don't do it anymore. And I'm definitely not into numbers, but I do know that numbers have significant meaning in the Bible, in this
Mm,
holy scriptures. There's a lot of numbers like 40 and 3. And
mm,
the fours, when I looked it up, is an angel number. And it's
oh,
like the angels are watching over you.
okay.
And it's so crazy because every time I see them, I would be like in my car and I'm like, and I'm talking to the Most High and I'm like, Father, look, I don't know if I can do this. And then a car would be like driving by and it would have three fours on it, or it'll
Wow.
pop up in my car on my phone. I mean, like the time will say 444. I'll pick up my phone and it'll be three fours. I'm like, what does this mean? And
Wow.
and it was so crazy. Like I said, it was so crazy and ironic that when I finally get, Rockwilder, he has the three fours on his head on that thing, and I was like, wow. So I feel like this song, I don't know what it's doing right now, how it's moving, but I know it has nothing to do with me. What's going to happen with it? I really believe this song is going to do well. How? On- only by only by the grace of the Most High. That's
Yeah.
it. Because
Yeah.
look what all happened doing it. It was the getting it clear, trying to find Rock Wilder and all of that up to the video. And my friend has a stroke and I have no
Yeah.
pictures and I do the pictures and the guys, and he's young. He's like 23, 24. Jack's camera jam. And he was like,
Mm,
I wonder why my camera's jamming. But every time he would go to do it, it would jam. So a lot of times I look at things as when things are supposed to happen, there will be other energies, that
mm,
that that evil force that don't want it to happen. So it's gonna come up against. it's gonna keep trying to get at you to tear
Mhm.
down what the Most High is doing. And the reason why I know that something is special about this song because of everything that I went through to do it. On
Yeah.
top of it, and thank you, Valencia Jones V Conversations and Champagnes and Conversations. I'll be making up names for her show, but V, she helped me a lot with with the studio stuff with Father. So I'm so grateful to her because she didn't have to do that, and she did because she believed in me. And so just everything to me to the single coming out. Now it's out, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? What do you do?
Well, that's the whole thing about the promotion side because I mean, back in the day, a song was slowly take off, and I was talking to I don't know if you know Carl Martin, he of the group Shy. So
Mm-mm.
he was the one that wrote and composed "If I Ever Fall in Love."
That's my song.
Yeah. So he was he was talking about how he was talking about how he wrote how to compose the song, but then also when he composed the song, they knew it was a hit. But the next thing is now how do you if but how do you get it to radio? And because it was such they knew it was a hit, it meant that when you play get it to radio, a DJ champion did. But as people hear it, they remember it and they start to it slowly start to build up and it just blew up and stuff. And so I think if good songs find their way, they find their
They
way
do.
through the system. And because I know you can do a lot of promotion to get it on those charts and stuff, but for it to stay there and actually move forward, people just have to really stand by it and appreciate it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it seemed. I mean, you didn't have to get Hype Williams or Lionel C. Martin to direct the video, so that didn't eat
right,
into it didn't eat
right.
into everything. It is amazing how much more affordable making videos are that can portray the
Yeah.
song. So you wrote it. What was the reasons behind writing "Slow Down"? Because what was inspiration by choosing that particular track?
Well, Father MC had a whole, but he had like 11 songs for me to hear, and we picked this one, and it was something he sampled with uh
Houdini.
Usher. It was Usher. Now it wasn't even
Okay.
the Houdini one yet. It was Usher first. And I'm trying to write to it. I'm writing, and all I hear is the whole Usher song. And I said, I can't do this one. It's not. I can't. It's too much Usher, and we in trouble. That's all I kept telling him. We gonna get in trouble. We gonna get in trouble. So I was like, no, we can't do this one. So we go back, me, him, and the engineer, Animal, and Animal kind of kept looking at me like he knew I was gonna pick certain ones. So I was like, because he was listening to him when we were picking them out anyway. And I was like, what's that Animal? What's that one that I heard that I liked? That I was like, I picked that one, that one. So it was this track. It was the Slowdown track. And when I heard it, I automatically heard Slowdown. No, I mean it came to me like that. As soon as I heard it,
Oh.
I heard Slowdown in my spirit. So I'm like, okay, I have a idea. So I'm like, slow down. So I go and I have a piece of paper. Um, no, I didn't even have a piece of paper and a pen yet. I said, no, yes, I did because I was already writing the Usher song. So I said, let me go, let me go in the bathroom and write some lyrics. So I went in the bathroom. I wrote the first part, um no, I think I wrote the hook first. Slow down, you're moving too fast. Let this moment take a chance. I think I wrote that first, but I went to write the verses, and that's when I came, with the fast loving, um, wait, what is it? Fast hugging, fast loving, all. I forget the words. I can't remember the words to nothing. Um, Fast loving. All this hugging, all this wine, it ain't fine. Okay. Fast loving, all this hugging, all this wine, it ain't fine. All this grinding, all this winding, all this touching. No, it ain't time. The first one, it ain't fine. The second one, it ain't fine. Slow down. You're moving too fast. Let this moment have a chance. All this rushing means nothing if you can't tell me something good. So,
Mm,
what came to my spirit right off the bat was to get this message out of for us to slow down. And I really believe in my spirit that the Most High was speaking through me,
okay.
saying to tell my people, y'all are moving too fast. Everybody, you know, everybody, all of y'all moving too fast. Y'all doing too much. And we y'all gonna lose your souls. Like, come on, we need you back. And I just think that for music, for us, for R&B, it's so sexual right now.
Yeah.
You know, everything is, oh gosh, it's so vulgar that I'm like, why do we have to talk about somebody's coochie? Why do we have to talk about the print in somebody's pants? I'm like, why? Where do we? How do we get there? You
Yeah.
know. So the thing is, how do we get back? So just like when radio plays it over and over again,
Yeah.
I think that by I don't have a lot of followers, and they I know they do it on purpose. They block me so I won't because I'm a troublemaker. So I have like what 25,000 some change, 25.8
And some
something
change.
like that.
Mm,
And it's not a lot, but I said it's still enough to you don't even have that many that's still paying attention. People follow you and they go about their business. But the thing is, if you just get a few that keep listening to it and keep listening to, because I said I'm gonna keep posting it and posting and posting like the radio. Because as long as you keep posting it and you keep singing it, and I'm gonna do some live stuff soon. I start
okay.
actually August 1st is my first show. That's another thing that helps push the records by doing shows, by doing live shows. So, with my other records, I wasn't doing any live shows. This one, I'm going to do live shows. I'm actually trying to start touring. Um, I talked to a couple of people already. One in particular um, is booking, a lot of acts. Um, Michelet, Adina Howard,
Wow.
um, the Isley Brothers, Angela Winbush, and all of them. So they trying to squeeze me in there somewhere.
Wow.
And I'm okay with crawling before I walk. You
Yeah.
know, I'm okay with y'all want Jackie to open. I'll open. You give me, I got 15 minutes. Okay, cool. You know,
But would you get a backing track or would you use a band?
no, I probably do tracks for now and then do the band. Like if they have a house band that's playing for everybody, then we'll
Okay.
probably use the band. And then I'm gonna just build up till I can until I can have a band because I do want a band. I want a band because that's where I clown the most with having a band. With tracks, it kind of limits you.
Yeah.
So
Cause, but
we,
would you need a DJ for that, or would when you're playing your tracks?
well, usually they'll have somebody that is like a DJ or whatever.
Okay.
You give them your show and they just play your show. So I have to have my friend, producer Declare Reese. I'm gonna have him put my show together.
Okay.
So, whatever I'm gonna start the show out with to get the crowd a little hype, and then I'll probably do a medley of because I know, for the most part, I probably have to put together a 15-minute show. Um, I say 20 because we can stretch that 15 to 20, but then a 30-minute show just in case they're like, oh, okay, now we want to put you here, whatever. But then there's places like in the states, like the City Winery and all those places
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
can have a band. But I'm not knocking myself at all because I know what I'm capable of. Because my life was the road. My life was, you know. Keith Sweat to Jackie McGhee to Guy, Toto, back to Keith Sweat, back to Toto, and then my stuff again, Jackie McGee stuff, and then the Family Stand. So in the Family Stand, that was a band. So
Mhm.
I'm used to you know being on stage with a band, and so I'm gonna have to swallow my pride and crawl before I walk and do a
But
couple of track dates.
what would make up your set list then? What do you think would you'd have on your set list?
See, and that's the hard thing because I don't know. I'm like, what do people like the most? I don't know. I would definitely do Make It Last and It Hurts Me. Um, do I have to find a guy vocalist? Probably, but usually it's it's
No,
easy for me to find.
you can probably sing, but the whole song you can sing your verse and the
Keith Clark
chorus.
too.
Yeah. Because
Some,
it's
yeah.
yeah,
So I
you
mean,
can do that.
sometimes I have a guy. I'll pick a guy out of the audience that want to come up and sing, and I let them sing with me. The audience loves that. Oh gosh, because people clown. They clown because everybody think they Keith Sweat, but everybody think they Keith Sweat. But I don't know. I think that I would do definitely Make It Last Forever, and It Hurts Me. I don't know if I would do the whole thing of It Hurts Me. I would do a medley of something with expressions
Yeah, express
and I
yourself.
don't know if I yeah, I don't know if I would do Skeezer or not, but I do want to put in a Family Stand song too, maybe a little bit. One, all of that would be in a medley, maybe,
But would you
and
play Get to because most
then
people know
do
Get to Heaven, but you weren't on that. So what would you play?
no, no. If anything, I would do Connected or um it'd have to be the ones that I sung by myself. So when Heaven Calls or Connected, but and that's only because I like them. I probably do them more live than with a track.
Yeah.
So with the track thing, I probably most likely I will do um It Hurts Me, Make It Last, Expressions, um, a little bit of
You're
If
saying
This World Were
expressions. Are you talking
Mine.
about express yourself?
Express Yourself. It's
Okay.
the song is called Expressions, but
Uh,
me singing it and you know, it's it's
okay.
Express Yourself. Yeah, but it's called
Okay.
Expression.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
And I gotta do the rap because I do it. I like doing the rap.
Oh, you can do it.
hmm I do the rap
Okay.
and
Oh, because you know
I'll do
when Teddy used to do his show, what he does is when he's doing his melodic
his medleys.
medley of
He has
songs,
the
he
vocoder.
yeah, but he has videos of Let's Say Remember the Time or Kissing Game, so
Oh,
he plays the video in the
okay.
background so people can connect to the
Right.
song that he's singing. Yes, I mean you probably don't need that with Make It Last Forever, um, unless you get videos from the Sweat Hotel. Remember when he did that concert and you were out there with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Which
that
I hated
probably.
that one. I hated it.
How did
I
you
hated
get
that one.
dragged back to do that? Was that the first time you connected
So
in all those years?
yep. We weren't I hadn't sung with Keith in 14 years when I did that. And when we connected to do that, he called he wanted me to come and Johnny Kemp and Silk and Cut Close or whatever. Um so it was in Charlie Wilson, all of Teddy, all of us, right? So the thing with me doing it, um, I just didn't, I hadn't sung with Keith in 14 years, and then we rehearsing this song like over and over and over again. And I'm like, why are we rehearsing this song 20 times? By the time we shot the, the video the next day, my voice was almost gone because
Ah,
it was worn out because I sung it over and over and over and over again. And I didn't like the way it came out. I was really, really upset the way it came out. And Johnny Kemp was too about his. So Keith ended up doing it again in Florida. We did that in Atlanta. He ended up doing it in Florida, but I didn't go do it the second time because I was like, if I'm not getting paid to go to Florida, I'm not doing it. So I was like, no, there ain't
What
no
was the
freezing
plan? You
to go
said you
do
just take a Greyhound there, then show up, and you can get the pass to come in.
to do what?
Was the idea that you just make your way there? It's-
What to Florida?
Yeah.
No, no, they would have flown me back, but I wasn't gonna get paid to come back
Oh, to do the show. Okay.
to do the show again. So I was like, nah, mm-mm, mm-mm. I was like, just rock what you have. But and not because, and I'm not about money. It's not even about that. It's the fact that we hadn't worked together in 14 years, and I still didn't feel comfortable. I love Keith. I have such a love for Keith. You know, even though we fuss back in the day, we'll fuss about whatever, but we work well together on stage. We really do. And I didn't feel comfortable when I did that show. Then they put me in this happy suit, and I don't wear. I'm not a dress chick all the time. Like when I was with Keith, I wore dresses because we had a maid. But I don't. I like to wear my wild stuff. I'm all crazy. And I'm just like, I gotta put this dress on. And yeah, it was a Gucci dress, but okay, that's cute, Gucci. But I didn't want to, put the jacket, Gucci suit jacket on and skirt. And, I just like, oh, I look like a church girl. And not to say it's bad to look like a church girl, but I'm just saying, I just didn't like it. But yeah, I mean, even now, I wouldn't ever say I can't say that I would never sing with Keith again because that would be a lie. I loved performing with Keith. We used to have so much fun on stage, even though he got on all of my last nerve and I got on his. We performed well together on stage. So I'm not. I wouldn't knock, Keith on that aspect. Like no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Oh, but on
Mhm.
that show, how was it like having Teddy as the music director? Did that, was that the first time seeing him in a while, or?
Yeah, I hadn't seen Teddy in a while, but Teddy's one that we'll talk on the phone. So you
Okay.
know, we'll keep up with each other. Um, for the most part. But Keith, I talked to Keith in that 14-year, time period, but I just hadn't sung with him in
Okay.
14 years. But even with Teddy, Teddy's fun. We clown. We'll go start talking about something crazy that happened back in the day, you know, and he'll laugh. Like, remember when you fell? I came out singing The Facts of Love. Whose song was that? These are the facts of love.
Oh,
Whose
that's
song was
Karen
that?
White and Jeff Lobo. Is that one?
Was that Karen Wayne Jeff Lowe? It was The Fact of Love, and I came out singing it and fell. I fell, and Teddy and them were laughing. The whole band was laughing so hard they couldn't even help me get up. It was horrible, but all I could do was sing from the floor, and then get up. But he will never ever let me live that down. But yeah, Teddy's always fun to be around, even though You know, Teddy's very serious about what he does and rehearsals and all that. And he will rehearse you until you are in a coma. Like, okay, we got it. Did we get it? Okay, we got it. Like he will rehearse and rehearse. But even at that, Teddy was Teddy. And Teddy actually defended me on something. It was crazy because um what's his name? Um Oh my gosh, the singer, Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson.
Okay.
Sorry, Uncle Charlie. So Charlie was there too. He was gonna perform with him too. And um Charlie's people come and they want to clear everybody out. So we just finished, doing the rehearsal, whatever. And they were like, everybody gotta go. Everybody got to get out. Acting like Charlie Wilson was Michael Jackson. Wait a minute. What the hell going on here? So his people were like, oh, you got to go. You know, we got to bring Charlie Wilson in here. So Teddy goes, no, that's Jacci McGhee. And here comes Charlie Wilson. So, Teddy was like, no, that's Jacci McGhee. She don't have to go anywhere. We just finished rehearsing her songs. And they was trying to put everybody out. So Charlie Wilson was like, oh, no, this is Jacci McGhee. No, Jacki's going to stay right here. No, she ain't got to go nowhere. She ain't got to go nowhere. I was like, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Uncle Charlie. You know, he was so sweet. I stayed and for his rehearsal for a little bit and then I left. But I met his wife and all that. Very nice, nice. And that was my first time meeting Charlie Wilson. And I'm
Okay.
such a huge Charlie Wilson fan. And he's such a good guy, so it was like, I said, your people treating you like Michael Jackson. He said, yeah, they
Was
just be
this
doing that.
security or who was this? Or his manager or what?
I guess it was I don't know, I guess a little security, whatever. I don't know. Because, I toured with Toto and Toto had no security. Toto had, this is one of, one of the biggest, like, rock groups. I call them soft rock. But,
Mm.
Toto has Africa, Hold the Line, Georgie Porgy, you know, um, damn, I can't even think of all of their songs, but they got so many. Rosanna, they got so many hits, and then all the hits that they did for so many other people. Dirty Lowdown, Cheryl Lynn's To
Did
Be
they do the stuff
Real,
for Michael Jackson? The
a
Human
lot.
Nature.
They did. One of the Picaro brothers, Steve Picaro. He wrote Human Nature, and they all played for so many artists. They played on Michael's album. They played on Miles Davis. They played on everybody, like everybody, Eric Clapton. I met so many people through Toto. Oh my gosh. Because
Mm.
they were just like coming to the shows. And I met Quincy through Toto, Quincy Jones. I met him in Montreux, Switzerland, and at the jazz festival. And like we just met so many people, I met so many people being with Toto and they have no security. None. I get back home, back to the R&B folk. Everybody want to have security. You can't go here. You can't go there. You can't. Not saying that the audience is a different kind of audience, because it
Mhm.
is. And I'm sure if Toto felt threatened in any kind of way, they would have security. They just have the security people that worked at the venues. They
Yeah.
didn't necessarily have security ever that walked around with them or any of that. And I'm like, that's Steve Lukather. That's David Page. Like, this is Jeff Porcaro. He built the whole square stand that every drummer used, like, and all of them played on everybody's record. So it's like, and they got so much more money. And it's like, I'm like, we're traveling first class. We're traveling on private jets. We're
Wow.
traveling with a chef, and all this stuff. They have no security, no security. So,
What
like
was
I
it
said,
like
going
then?
back.
If you're performing in stadiums with these guys singing all these big songs, because you toured with Keith when he was promoting his album. So what was the big difference between when you were touring with Keith to promote "Make It Last Forever" and then when a few days later you're touring with Toto? Was it night and day type of?
Um, I mean, with Keith, because Keith was playing a lot of arenas when I left.
Okay.
So we were already doing all the big arenas everywhere around the states. So it was good. We were already at that place. So leaving Keith and then going out with Toto, the biggest difference to me was, of course, like I said, they don't do the security thing, and they don't need an opening act. Toto didn't need an opening
Um,
act. A lot of R&B groups have opening acts or whatever. So when I was out with Keith, it was like, I'm trying to think who was even on that tour. Oh, it was us and BBD. Um, it was Keith Sweat, BBD, Johnny Gill. Keith Sweat, BBD, Johnny Gill on that tour. The last tour that I did with Keith, it was Keith Sweat, um, BBD, Johnny Gill. That was a great tour.
Who opened
And
and who closes?
um, I'm trying to remember. See, that's the thing. That's the other thing. It's like that's what I hate about like R&B. Who's gonna close? Who's the biggest? Who's the this and this and that? When I was with Toto, it was just Toto. There was no who's gonna close, who's gonna open, who's gonna do anything. Toto had 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 people, 60,000 people with no opening act, no nothing. But you better believe that show, whew, our show was like 2 hours long.
Yeah, in fact, Bruce Springsteen, he's in Europe, and I heard some guys on the radio, football commentators, and they said, yeah, they went to see him, and this was just yesterday. He sang for 2 hours and 50 minutes. He didn't go change. He didn't go to okay, let me, someone play music while he goes and changes his shirt. He just was on stage with his harmonica, with his guitar, played for 2 hours, almost 3 hours by himself. He's 74. And you do remember
Wow.
that rock bands tend to just do those 2 hours big shows and stuff. But in R&B, it's very much of okay, I've got my hour set of 40 minutes, get a couple of opening acts, and so I don't know if we do put on like a full-on 2 hour show by themselves. I think are R&B fans ready for one person to do like a full-on show, or did we just like the hour and a half and okay, a few hits here and there?
I think that R&B acts, when they do get to a certain level, they want to have so many like fireworks, you know. And once you start getting to having all of these things, you got all these clothes changes you want to do and all of this stuff, it makes it take long, and and it takes away from you just being on stage,
Hmm.
doing your hit, going to the next one. All Toto had was the band, you know, and the lighting guy was crazy. He was killing that show. I mean, killing it to every beat, to every whatever. The lights would be like, bah, 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 and it's crazy, and the crowd would just lose their entire minds. But they're not like doing it in Europe like that, in or Japan or whatever is not like doing it, with an R&B um set. Like even Janet, Janet does a lot of clothes changes, and she has a lot of, but Janet she still gives you
Yeah.
a great show. So I don't know. The question that you asked about would people be ready for that? I don't know, and I believe that
Who can deliver it then? Who do you think could just be on stage for 2 hours and 2.5 hours and just sing and
let me think hard. I can't. I wouldn't say Patty can do it anymore, Lavelle, because Patty's, she's 80 now. But I do know Patty does a nice length of a show, and
wow.
so does Gladys Knight. I think Gladys is retiring now because Gladys is 80 as well. Um, hmm, I don't know. Lenny Kravitz, and he ain't R&B.
So we're not even thinking of. You see, I was gonna say the Isley Brothers, but they're really old guys and stuff. In the '80s, I'm thinking,
Yeah, I would say the Isleys too would be the only ones that could pull it off. But now they older.
yeah.
Um,
But then, I
I
mean, would a Beyonce do a 2 hour, just full on 2 hour stuff?
because she wants to change. She wants theatrics. She wants dancers. Everything got to move. Everything got to have, you know, this stuff to distract and to okay da 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 da. I don't see any. I can't think of not one person, but I'm gonna tell you, I want to be that one. I don't think that I need, you know, all of that stuff for a show because because of me being able to do rock, um, with Toto, and then also being with the Family Stand. I have to give Family Stand a lot of credit too, because Pete and Jeff, they rock out. Peter Lord and V. Jeffrey Smith, oh my gosh, they are beasts. And just being even Sandra, like Sandra St. Victor, she's the original singer that did
Did get to heaven?
the Ghetto Heaven, and all the albums with them. The Connected album is the only album that I did with them, and that was only because she left and did her solo stuff, and then I got a phone call, like I was telling you before. I got a phone call from my publisher, which I was on MCA Publishing, asking me, do I want to, would I be interested in doing the Family Stand or the Brand New Heavies? And I chose the Family Stand because of Sandra St. Victor, because of, Sandra was, my girl. Every time I see her, it's all love. I love Sandra. I love that she can be funky. I love that she can be herself and be eclectic and all of that. And then I love the fact that, they did the music that they wanted to do. So, and then when I get in the group, here's this half rock, half R&B record. I was like, well, what happened? So, but I Connected is a dope album. No, it's dope. Whoever don't have it, go get it. Go get it. My phone. I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. Yeah,
But
whoever don't have that Connected album, go get it because y'all gonna love it. I really
well,
believe you'll love
I
it.
mean, Brand New Heavens, was that before Sarita Garrett took the role? I mean, did you
Yes,
what?
yes, it was before Sarita, so she ended up doing it. Yeah, I love the Brand New Heavies. Um, I love the Brand New Heavies, but I chose the Family Stand. Um, because I like both. But like I said, I chose the Family Stand because, of Sandra St. Victor, being free and doing what she wanted to do. And that was kind of always what I wanted to do. MC wasn't letting me do no rock. They were like, hello, you came in as a ballad singer, hip hop, you coming from New Jack Swing. We want you to go in that direction. I always wanted to go, in the other direction. Am I going to do a rock record song? Yep. And that's coming. I want to do just one good one. One good
Yeah, I mean, but I think when you think about singing, 'cause so Di Reed, she when she left Jade, she went and she was touring with Rod Stewart,
Yeah,
and the same sort of way, because I think it's just and I guess those types of big shows, big tour and stuff. Um, but I guess it does prepare you, I would assume, to be able to do those types of big records and ballads and stuff.
yeah.
It's just that, um, you know, is it when they ended the tour that you went your separate ways, or you did the tour when they finished their tour? Is it when it's okay, bye, Jackie? Thanks for touring with us. We'll see you later.
No, not at all. When we went home for a little while, my record was put on hold. My Jackie McGhee album was put on hold for 2 years. That's why I was able to sing with Toto. I didn't know it was going to take that long, so I was just singing with Toto while I had we put out expression stuff with Salt and Pepper. In 90, my record was already done in 90, so it was put on hold. So when I was out with Toto, even when we stopped, they paid us half of our salary to keep us in, hold on, and then we went back out. But no, when I left Toto, I called first I talked to Toto's management and Toto, the guys, and I said I have somebody, because they were like, do you have somebody that'll replace you? And I said, well, not, I don't know, no, like a chick right offhand. Um, but I was like, my best friend John James, and he's on my album. He's the one that sung "Closer," "The Closer I Get to You" with me on Jackie McGhee album. I was like, John James, because I wanted John to do it. I know other female singers, but I wanted John to do it. So I recommended him, and then Jenny, the other girl that was singing with me, Jenny Douglas Foote, she said John as well, because that's one of her best friends too. So when they heard John, they were blown away. and they were like, "He's in," So all I did was pass the baton to John James, so he, got to go out with Toto and have that experience with Toto too, because going out with rock groups is an experience, and I know Diary knows that it's an experience, and it helps us understand our journey too with our music and what we're doing, and I actually I want to do a record, and I talked to Mickey Howard about it because Mickey does a lot of stuff too. She does everything, country, rock, everything. And I have a name for the band already, right? Because I was going to do it myself. I was going to do this rock record and change my name, and not necessarily change my name, but just have this name. So I said, it'll be dope if I can get some singers to do this. So when I talked to Mickey about it, to Mickey Howard about it, I said, this would be dope if me, you, and Joy. You know the singer Joy, right? That was with the
Mm.
Dungeons family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I was like, it'd be funky if me, you, and Joy could do a record. That would be crazy. And then I was talking to somebody and I said, Di Reed would be dope too. I was like, that would be sick. That would be hot. We'd be all over the place. Just a whole crazy mess. All of us, just wild, just having a good time. Just wild. And I really think that would be hot. Like that would be dope. So hot. Mickey's dope. Joy is dope. Diary is dope. Jackie, she just fit in wherever.
But
Um,
who'd you get to to produce a track like that? Then it's like a Dallas Austin. If who would you get to produce that kind of a rock?
I would say who could pull it off the best? Mm, to be honest, um, Peter Lord and V. Jeffrey Smith from the Family Stand. They would kill it. They would kill it because they produced Paula Abdul's Rush Rush, Blowing Kisses in the Wind and all of that. So that's what they were paid from back then. They got big records. And they also worked with Corey Glover from Living Color when Corey was doing his solo album. And Corey's album was, like kind of toned down rock, but it still was rockish, dope. Um, I was singing when I was singing with not Toto, when I was singing with Family Stand, all
Mm.
of us was working with each other. Me, Corey Glover, um, what was their other group? Oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me. Um, oh my gosh, I can see their faces, and I'm trying to think of the name of the group. It's terrible. Oh gosh, I'm gonna think of it in a second. But all of us were touring together. It's actually on BET. It like if you pull up Family Stand on BET, it'll come up and it'll show us performing on Planet Groove. I don't know if y'all remember that from back in the 90s. It was in the late 90s.
Yeah, yeah,
Planet
yeah.
Groove was
Maybe
still
find the
going
groove.
on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we were on Planet Groove and we did it was a Family Stand, Corey Glover from Living Color with his album called Daddy um what is it? Something Daddy Love. Some sexy name. Uh and then um the guys, oh my gosh, and you know who I'm talking about because um they had Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Did you remember that song? Sugar, sugar see I'll be done sung it wrong. Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Don't listen to me because I don't know the words to nothing. Um it was called Sugar Honey Iced Tea. See if you can pull it up, then you know who I'm talking about. Oh, I'm so terrible. They're gonna get me. They are gonna get me for forgetting.
Oh, is that Princess Nokia? No, no, that looks Khalees,
Mm-mm.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. Thank you. Who I was in trouble. I was so in trouble. I was so in trouble. Oh my gosh. The Goodfellas. And that's my boys too. Love, love, love them. Good guys, and they can sing. Um, so it was the Family Stand, Corey Glover, and the Goodfellas. And we were doing shows together and we did BET, Planet
Planet
Groove
Groove.
together. And it's out. It's out, so people can go watch it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Um,
look at that. But are you still in
so
touch with these guys though?
I don't work with them anymore. Corey, I met Corey Glover when I was singing with Toto. I met him when he was with Living Color, and that's why I shaved my hair on the sides, and I had my ponytail because I fell in love with Corey, and I was like, I'm gonna do that to my hair, and I copied Corey Glover because I was in love with Corey when I saw his hair and stuff. I was like, yes, this is rock. This is real rock. Yes. And the record label was looking at me like, oh my gosh, can you put a wig back on, please, or something? Because you are too. And they didn't let me be who I really was. And I feel like I'm getting a chance to do that now. Riches of the World was different. Um, I mean, it did okay. I couldn't push it the way I wanted to because, um, people ain't ready for that message. They're just
Hmm.
not. But the one last summer that I put out, Time and Time was pulled out of the archives
Mm.
with me and producer Declare with Reese. And so it was like, oh, okay, let's fix this up and we can put this one out because they had re-released my album, with all of the
Oh yes, yes. Some sort of
remixes
remixes. Yeah.
last summer. So, and then they also re-released the CD in Japan. So
Mm.
in Japan, the CDs are out, and plus, whatever else they did digital, the whole digital whatever. But Time and Time actually did pretty decent. It went to number 2 on the Amazon UK charts, and it went to, I forget what number on the 3 of my songs charted on the um Amazon charts in the US all at
Mm.
one time. And it was 2 from the album, and then it was Time and Time. But
Absolutely.
I can't remember what numbers they went to. I just know that Time and Time went number 2 on the Amazon charts in the UK. Um, for me, I'm just like, I'm putting out the EP. People keep saying, no, you're gonna do an album. So I'm like, an EP is what? An EP is maybe 5 songs. An album is 8. If I get 8 songs, it'll be an album or whatever
Yeah,
you call it now.
but
It's
then are people buying albums like that? They're
right,
buying the songs are streaming. Yeah.
right. That's what I said, Namdi. So I want to do the EP and maybe put 4 songs on it, just 4. I don't think you need any more than that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because it would be a case of you just releasing a single, try and work the single, then releasing a sort of another one, then trying to work that. It yeah, and it could be always the Jackie McGhee collection and stuff like that. At the end of 6 months, it could be a package deal and on whatever server. I mean, I don't know how the whole server stuff works. But most of us we tend to want to listen to some of the things that we grew up listening to.
yeah,
We tend to want to listen to the old stuff. If you're on a tour or doing a show and you sing in "Make It Last Forever," even if it's by yourself, people would be more willing to sing along with that. So you could say, okay, Keith's not here, so I'm going to need you guys to help me sing his part. And then
yep.
maybe the words of them, they're singing that part, then you come on in and then do your part, and then everyone sings along. I mean, it just seems like the audience just
That's
gets,
exactly how they. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. They would do it because so many people know "Make It Last Forever" that people want to sing it themselves anyway. They're
yeah,
like, "Wait,
yeah.
I know your part. I got your part."
I got you, I got you, got
So
you.
that's gonna be fun.
Mary does it all the
And
time. Maybe when she's trying to save her voice, when she's trying to
she'll
save
let
her voice.
the
Yeah, you don't want to
audience.
sing. Okay, it's like, oh, you guys, I love you guys. Okay, oh, good, I can save my voice now. Okay,
Right,
I'll sing a little bit
right,
then. Yeah.
right. Sometimes, our in the States, our our fickle people sometimes, and I love them, but they be fickle. They're like, somebody was saying, not saying Mary at all. I'm saying whatever artist, they'll say, oh, they let everybody sing the whole song and they didn't even hardly sing any of it. But if people are singing the song,
Yeah.
what's the point in you singing it?
I mean, there's loads of people like if you're going to waiting for the artist to show up and the DJ's playing hits, everyone's singing to the hits with the DJ.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, you could, so people just love listening to the songs and singing along to the songs, and embracing them. So, I mean,
Because
the
you have a
artist,
feeling. I didn't
yeah,
mean to cut you off because you have a feeling from those songs. So because you get that feeling from those songs, so when you hear it, you have memories of what this song has done in your life or what you was doing at that time that you heard it, and it comes back, and next thing you know, close your eyes and you singing the whole song. And this is at the concert. So for me, I'm okay with, if I'm at a concert and the artists have everybody singing the song. I think it's beautiful. I love to hear the audience sing the song. I think it's so beautiful.
yeah.
Even if, even if it was just half the song and you like, okay, y'all, like, give me the mic back.
But
you know.
you mentioned that you might start looking to post some videos of you doing some singing. Now, would you do this a cappella, or would you get a keyboardist or a guitarist, and then you're singing alongside them, and recording those types of videos? Which one would you do?
Well, I'm gonna start. I might do a live thing from the studio downstairs in the building. Um, the crazy thing is when you had Herb Middleton on,
Mm.
Herb was downstairs. I live upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I live upstairs. Um, so it's a studio downstairs, and I'm thinking that I might, you know, do something live from downstairs in the studio, and maybe just play, um, slow down, and then maybe do. I wanted to find a guitar player to do like an acoustic version of "Make It Last Forever"
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
and sing that, and just maybe those two, just a single and make it last, just to give people a little piece of whatever is coming. But like I said, my first show is August 1st in Virginia.
No, but
um
you should also probably, because you were in the family stand, even though Ghetto, because when you went to tour with them, did you not sing Ghetto Heaven?
um we did Ghetto Heaven. I'm trying to remember, did I do it at every show? um
Because that's their biggest hit, so there's no how you can go tour the family stand and not play Ghetto Heaven.
well, what it was at the time, they were promoting the album, the Connected album.
Okay.
So they weren't really going back to all of their, you know, other stuff. We
Mm,
did do Ghetto Heaven at a few places. We didn't do it all the time, but we did do it
okay.
at a few places. Um, and we had background singers too, working with us. So, if we needed background singers to switch around and for them to sing and I didn't have to sing, then I was fine with that, and the guys were fine with that because we always had like really good singers. So, um I wouldn't do Ghetto Heaven because that wasn't me singing. Um,
But
but
was there any memorable song from the Connected album that people would know?
the single that was out, uh, oh my gosh, when I tell you I forget everything, this is so bad. I gotta take those vitamins and those minerals, and I gotta go eat some leaves off the tree or something to get my memory back. um, uh, what was our single? Um, oh my gosh, I hear everything but the single. Um, uh, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here going blank. It was a single from our Connected album. It was oh my gosh, I'm hearing like this one record, this rock record that baby, baby, you're mine, like rain is. And I'm just hearing that song, and I can't even hear the other songs right now off the record. Um, it was You Don't Have to Worry. Oh my gosh, smack, smack, smack. You Don't Have to Worry. That was our song that the video was out for, and it was doing actually pretty good. Um, in Europe.
Oh, you
So
don't have to worry. Okay,
yeah, you don't
97.
have to. You don't have to worry, 'cause mama's gone. Daddy loves you so much, and he is strong. You don't have to worry. Oh, I forgot the words. That's the other thing. They talking about Patti LaBelle with her little words in the front and on the thing. They're gonna have to give me some. I can't remember words to nothing.
Yes, Elton
Nothing.
John does the same thing. Yes, it must
Oh,
be a lot of.
he has his
Yeah, it must be a lot. Yeah, it must be a lot of words to start remembering songs and stuff like
it
that.
is, especially Elton got 32 albums. It's good.
Yeah,
Ooh. And
yeah,
Patty has a
yeah.
lot of records too. Me, they probably, they'd be like, she need to remember the words and cut it out. And I'll know them before I go back, start doing shows. I'll know the words so I
But
won't get in trouble.
is there any setup
For what?
for you doing some shows?
Um, well, I got called to do a show in California for the 19th of July, but I wasn't ready. I'm not
Okay.
ready because I got to get the whole track show together. So we're gonna start in August. So I'm gonna start talking with the guy that's booking the shows about. We'll probably talk next week on what he has coming up and what I can get on and which ones I'll be doing. But I definitely have a show already in Virginia and one in Connecticut.
Yeah,
Virginia is
Terry
the
Harris
first
was
of
in
August.
where in Virginia and what dates in August?
Um, in Virginia, it's going to be in Richmond, Virginia. In Richmond, August 1st. I don't know the name of the place, but I'm going to post it.
Okay.
Um, and I'm doing one in Connecticut on August 31st. So the 1st and the 31st, I got it locked down already. Um, so I'll be in Connecticut. I think we're in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna post all of it because I don't know exactly, but I know it's Richmond, Virginia, for sure. Um, and we're gonna tape it. Conversations, Champagne and Conversations V. Valencia, she's gonna um have her little people come in and video tape it and stuff. So because we want to kind of have a live that we can show people a little bit of something, let them know how I'm singing again. I posted today actually. I posted a
You
little
did
bit
it
of
of
Slowdown,
Slowdown. Yeah, the acoustic version. Yeah, the acapella.
the acapella. I said, oh, let me tease them with a little bit, sounding crazy. But that's not an easy song to sing because it's high.
You-
That tell me something good. You up there. But I was like, I'll do a little bit, just a little bit. You sound real good when you get on stage because now you got the microphone and you have people giving you a little flavor on them vocals.
yeah, yeah,
So when
yeah,
you get a little flavor on them vocals, you really sound good.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But when see now the thing is when you can sing a cappella and you still sound decent, you ain't
Mm.
gonna sound just like the record. Nobody gonna sound like the record because you do tricks in the studio too. But when you could do a cappella and you sound like yourself, that's 85% of your, you know, people want to hear the records and they want to hear how they sound on the record. They want you to sound like you singing on the record. So,
Yeah, I don't know if it's I guess I think when you think of some people who would sing, if Babyface brings his guitar out and he starts to strum and sing, people are, oh, well, we can vibe to this. So I think, I mean, I'd sooner could go to a show that had either someone playing on a piano or somebody playing on a guitar, and I can really feel the stuff. where I struggle at the level of the state I'm at is if I go to a show and I'm hearing the backing track and I'm like, well, it's almost like karaoke because you've flown all the way here, you're singing over a track, you're doing some moves, but it's like I could have just bought the original album and just enjoyed it either way. But when you have a band
It's a whole
and
different story. Yep.
yeah, yeah. But even if you can't get a full-on band, you just okay. We're just gonna vibe out. Craig David, when he first came out, when had his first album, he would go around doing with his guy playing the guitar. Oh, that's seven
Guitar.
days and edit that, and it was he just the two of them on the stage, and you could just feel that. Ed Sheeran does that. He may play
Right.
some stuff around, but that's when you're commanding the stage. Like, I don't need all these props. I don't need the lights. I'm just going to show you what I can do here. And that's the
Yep.
brave thing. Adele does that when she gets somebody playing. I mean, she'll have the whole full on band and she strips it down. A guy playing the
And
piano,
just have a couple. Yeah.
and she just does the stuff. And I think you do wonder sometimes if whether we are using all the pyrotechnics and stuff to just mask the fact that we can't we just want to give you a little bit of stuff, but we're going to use all this strobe lights and background singers and stuff just to flavor it, but we're not really, we can't do the 2.5 hours Bruce and hide behind our vocals the same way. We started off this
Hmm.
saying that Bruce Springsteen was in Sweden, Amsterdam yesterday doing a 2.5 hour show with no breaks at 74. Full on band running
And
here
that,
and there.
right.
And I'm like, man, who's going to be doing this here? Who would I
Right.
see? A total SWV and Escape on tour. But I've seen a few videos and they've changed 3 or 4 times during their sets. And I'm like, okay, it's good. But man, come on, come out there, give us, I mean, do we do? And it's not that does Toto have more hits than say an SWV? I mean, because if you think about all the hits, all the albums, they could do it too in our first show. But I don't know if R&B fans. Do you think the fans would want to see somebody sing for 2 hours?
They don't have the patience for it. They don't have the patience to see one group do 2.5 hours. Not unless, like, for me, like, I know that jazz people that go see jazz shows, they'll
Yeah.
sit through a jazz show. They'll sit through, a rock show again, like you said. But for R&B, no, because R&B is like entertainment. So they, not unless it's like a Kim or and I'm gonna tell you who I think could pull off that a show like that with no clothes changes, and that's Lauren. I believe that Lauren can do that. I believe that Erica Badu could do it with no
Hmm.
clothes changes. I believe the two of them could do it.
Did she take
And
some of it?
I would throw Jill Scott in there because I think that they have enough material, um, especially Lauren. I definitely can see Lauren doing it with no clothes change.
Yeah,
Um,
when she did that
but like I
unplugged,
said,
MTV unplugged. Okay,
right.
when she did the
I think
MTV.
what when she did the MTV. Hi, Woody.
Hey,
Shalom, shalom.
shalom, shalom. How's everybody?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I rush on so I could get on with y'all, man.
Oh man,
I,
you already know. I was saying in
had
my
to
head.
catch my family, man.
I was saying, where's Woody?
Hang on for one.
In my head. I was like, where's Woody?
Yeah,
Hi,
yes, indeed.
Woody. We glad
Yes,
you came
me.
on. We already know.
Oh
You already
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So,
Woody.
oh, ask Woody the question.
Yeah, I was gonna
Because
ask you, Woody, because yesterday in Amsterdam, Bruce Springsteen did a 2 hours and 50 minute show with no changes, no break, just no opening act. And we were saying who in R and
Goodness.
B could do this. I mean, he's 74, but who can just do a show just like 2.5 hours. Just no, they're not changing their clothes. They're just singing, banging out the hits that the fans would just be. Who do you think? Because Jackie was thinking about maybe Lauryn Hill and Erica and Jill Scott, but who do you think could pull it off?
Man, goodness, so many people from our eras, man. Shoot, Keith, and he should bring Jackie on to be a super special guest. Or man, who else? Man, shoot, if he was still around, like Luther,
Yes.
uh, Aretha Franklin.
But we talking about no clothes
Ah,
changes.
man,
Yeah, no, they're not going to have
no
a
clothes
change.
changes.
Yeah, yeah, they're
No,
just sitting.
no clothes
Just
changes, no extra dances, none of that. Just singing
And for how
and
long?
that's
Two
it.
hours?
two and
Yep.
a half hours. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, two and a
Two and a
half.
half.
That's what the rock
Shoot,
bands do.
Jodeci. Jodeci, they raw. They come out and they love her, and they can stand out there and they love her for 2.5 hours and give it to the people.
But
I think
but does Jodeci, now I would agree with Jodeci too for a male group, yeah. But
they
does
got three
Jodeci
albums. They got no, they
have
got four
enough?
albums, so they got enough material.
Because you can't. Okay, okay, okay. I mean, I would say, because like you said, they're raw. So I would say, Casey and JoJo and them can do that. Yeah, I
Heck
agree.
yeah,
I agree.
heck
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and
I can't.
Devontae on the keyboard, so he can play some stuff, play some songs for the people, while somebody catch their breath or get a little drink of water or something.
Right, right,
But why
right.
do you think R&B acts don't do that then, Woody? Why do you think R&B acts won't, don't don't just do it 2 hour? Yeah, people are saying like Earth, Wind and Fire and Denise Williams, but generally, why do you think R&B acts can't just? We need a three opening acts before we show up, do our set and leave. Why can't we just do the? Because I was surprised New Edition had three people to show up before them. I thought, come on, New Edition, you guys could um, just do a whole 2 hour set
Yeah,
and
without nobody on the show. That's
Oh
yeah.
right.
yeah, their show is amazing for like 2 hours, but they do change their clothes and stuff. But as far as like being able to hold it down with hits and have showmanship and stuff like that, New Edition could definitely just
What
tell them
about
don't
Tony,
change their
Tony,
clothes.
Tony?
That's all.
Tony, do you think they could do it as
Yes,
a
yes, yes,
yeah.
I
yes.
think so.
Especially if they,
I think so.
especially if they threw in the
Raphael?
songs that Raphael did solo. So with all of their solo stuff,
Hmm.
the Tony stuff, the
Right,
solo stuff, all of their solo stuff,
right.
his, Dwayne's, whoever, they would have along, and they could pull it off because they come out funky anyway, so they can just stay just like they are, get sweaty and everything, and just sing, do all them joints, all
Yep,
them joints. Yeah,
yep,
definitely,
for
Tony, Tony,
real.
Tony, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. Hey, how about getting Woody on a remix of
Uh,
Slow Down?
wait, back it up. Hold up, hold up. I
Say
was
it
about to say
again.
one
Go
more
ahead, go
group.
ahead.
Wait, Woody. Wait, one more group. Mint
Huh?
Condition.
Okay, yep. Mint condition, yeah.
Wait a
Brian
minute.
Smith
I'm
is
gonna
good.
try to turn my. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to turn this internet off and back on because it's acting stupid. It's not even coming on. So give me 1 second.
No
I'm gonna be off
problem.
for like 1 second. All
Mine was
right.
doing that. Remember, mine was doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week mine was doing that.
Oh, you
Um,
said, yeah,
I,
mint condition. When I lived in Milwaukee, they came to. We used to have the Summerfest, and Boys to Men, Faith Evans, Mary, all of them would show up. The only concert that I always remember that they sound just like the record was Mint Condition. It was the most memorable. I felt like you felt like you were listening to the record. You felt like, man, this is just, and they probably could have gone on, and Stokely is a performer. So yeah, it's a pity they broke. I think they've broken up. I
yeah,
think.
I think they kind of went their separate ways for whatever reason, but it just popped up in my head. Mint
Yeah,
Condition could do it. Mint
no, Mint
Condition could do
Condition
it
can
because
definitely do
when
it.
when you think about bands, yeah, Mint
Yeah, but
Condition could do it.
we don't have that many bands. But so you've got Slow Down now. does it need a remix down the road to really give it legs? Because you got the video, so you can add some music and do or reshoot the reshoot some of not reshoot it, but you've got the footage and they can re-edit the footage to do a remake or so. Because even big songs seem to be doing stuff like that. Like I think Ariana Grande now has just featured Brandy Monica on her song. Money Love of a big hit has just brought in Mariah Carey for a remake of it. It just seems like that. What that
Oh.
one is.
So people are doing remakes of the same song they just did.
Yeah, but they get somebody else on to do a verse or two, or even re-sing. Yeah, it's the same like um oh, what's the name of the guy? This Nigerian guy who had this big hit that, and he got Selena Gomez to feature on it. A big Afrobeat track. Um, but she was just singing his part, one of his verses. But that was just that, in the same way Essence. So the other stuff where they got Justin Timberlake, not Justin Bieber, to feature on it. So the remakes are pretty much somebody singing the second verse of the same song. So
Well, I'm gonna have a remix version of Slowdown. Actually, producer Declare is doing it. But I thought about maybe having somebody rap on it or whatever. I can always send it to Chubb. Chubb Rock. That's family. You know, now,
Thanks,
he
Andy.
never did a ballad. I mean, like, Slowdown is not a ballad, but I don't know what Reese is gonna do to it. And I know he can turn it into a ballad. So I'm like, oh Lord, I don't know what Reese is gonna do. I gotta wait and see. But yeah, I don't know. I think for me, it's either put out the remix if it's dope, or if it's just as dope as the original, then I say to put a remix out. If it's not, it's like go to the next single. That's how I
Mm,
see it. I'm like, just put another joint out. And like you said, people are just buying. The only one that benefits from doing albums now and all that is the record labels. People in that they have a whole marketing team to work that album, that or they have the promotion team to work XYZ. When you indie artist, it's so hard to put
mm,
a whole album out. Yeah, people want to hear track by track by track, but I'm like, just keep putting singles out for the 6 months. Put a single out, you know every, like, month and a half. New singles coming, new singles coming. Like every 6 weeks you put a new single out or something. I think that works just as well. um I don't know. I just feel like if people could see me, I haven't been on stage. I haven't been on stage performing since 2017. And I wasn't with a full out band then. So I can't even remember when I was on stage with a band last. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I think it's gonna get real when I start, rehearsing with a band. Then it's gonna get real to me again. Like, oh, okay, it's time. It's time to, really go in. But I haven't been on
yeah,
stage in so long that it's like, as you put out singles or whatever, if you're not coming out touring, or if you're not coming out doing some live shows, then your songs just, kind of go to the wayside. So I have to do some shows. I don't have no choice on this one.
yeah. I mean, look at someone like Karen White who went away for 20 plus years, raised a daughter and stuff, and slowly got back into it. But now she's just, and I think it just started to build up where she had to
Yeah,
learn. Yeah. So it's slowly
it
just
does.
been
Because
building up.
I saw her when she started coming back out. She started doing shows with Ruffins and just little small shows.
Yeah.
And then it just it was just like, oh, Karen White, and Karen White. You know, I know Karen. I haven't seen her in years. Love her. We toured. She was actually on our tour too. With Keith. Karen is a sweetheart. She's a hard worker. She used to bust
Mhm.
her butt on stage. Even
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love her.
she's yeah.
She don't, she gets it in. She do her little thing. She don't play no games. And I'm happy that she is out because I was like, why is people singing Superwoman? Can y'all not sing that? That is
Yeah,
Karen White's song. That
yeah.
leave her song alone, please. Like I just think that, you know, when people call other people to sing the songs instead of, them calling Karen White to sing. Why how come Karen's not singing it? Or how come
Yeah.
such and such? It's the same, you know, with me. I love Faith. Faith is my girl. But and when she did the thing, with Keith getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, and she did Make It Last Forever, you know, I sat back and I was watching it, and I was going through my homeless situation, and I'm saying, why come he couldn't call me to sing? I was like, there's
Mm.
nothing wrong with my voice. I'm not sitting back like, now I'm like 500 pounds or something, and I can't walk. And no disrespect to anybody heavy, because all my aunts and grandmom and them was big. And they all deceased now, but everybody was big. Everybody had a biscuit and a damn pork chop in my family. So, I'm not trying to have jokes on nobody big, but I'm just saying it's not like I was sitting home and I just stopped singing and was like, and I stopped singing because I wasn't trying to be in the business anymore.
Mhm.
I wanted to get away from it because didn't I didn't like it anymore. I felt like I kept getting the bad end of the deal, and I was like, okay, I had enough. But now, with the songs that I'm putting out with Riches of the World and Slow Down, these are message songs.
Mhm.
So, and it will be more message songs with the stuff that I'm doing now. The Houdini song that I did, it wasn't a message song, but um it was a song of, when I was in the booth doing it, I was thinking in my head, you know, my partner who I'm married to, or who I'm about to marry.
Mhm.
So, the song is saying, the song was called Rocking With You. And I don't think I'm gonna change the title because we trying to get Tim to put some music to it. But if Tim doesn't, what happened to Woody?
I don't.
Um, I
He
know
said he
he
would
was
change his. He
going
says
out.
change his internet.
No, he's trying to fix it. So I don't. I'm not gonna change the song title, but I'm gonna see what Tim comes up with, if Tim's still gonna rock with it or not. But other than that, I have to find somebody.
Did you send the vocals to him?
Uh-huh. I sent him the whole
Okay.
Pro Tools session. I sent it to him.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll see what he comes up with. But what I want to do, and I said, let me tell you this before I get off. I was supposed to been off, but I get on with you, and we just got we doing what we got to do. Um, what I want to do is do a challenge with people doing their own version of a slow down video.
Okay.
So people can, do their version of slow down and send it to me, like tag me in it. And then I want to put like different versions of slow down on my in my feed so people can see it and just have it. Because I'm telling you, in my mind, I got a whole marketing plan in my mind with no money. I got like this whole marketing plan with no money in my head. So I think it's a couple of things that we can do with this. Um, I'm gonna go around asking people, you know, like recording people saying, asking them like, how do you feel about if somebody played a song for you called Slow Down? What does slow down mean to you? You know, in a relationship or before you start dating somebody or whatever. So I'm thinking of like little things to do. to come up
Okay.
with.
Yeah, if you think about, I think when Pharrell had the Happy video, he got people to sing along and dance, and they put all those things together. So even though you've got the official Slow Down video, you could tell people to try and reenact Slow Down, and then send it in, and when you're re-releasing a Slow Down extended mix, those pitches, those videos will fit in. So we're going to need, so we're going to need you to, yeah, as you've said it here, people are going to need to know how to, they can tag you on Instagram.
Oh, they
And
can
what would
tag
you
me.
want them to do? Yeah, what would you
Well, they
want them
can
to do?
tag me when they once they do the video. They can tag me at Jackie JACCIMCGHEE.
Sorry about
Jackie
that. I had
McGhee.
to reset it.
Okay.
Oh, you back? You back? You went
Yeah.
back. What you do? You went grocery shopping before the sun go down?
Yeah, I had to do that, but I was trying to reset this internet box. It was like it must be an outage in my area or something because I
Oh,
know my
okay,
bill
okay.
paid because they charged me double, so it better be paid.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Um, so wait a minute. What did I just say? Oh, we were talking about the
So Woody, what
so they
Jackie's
can
trying to
oh
do
okay, so
is
they
to,
can send it to they can tag me at Jackie JACCIMCGHEE at Jackie McGee, or they can send it to my email.
well,
Should
maybe
we
the
say
tagging
email?
would
Because
be.
that's hard to do. I would say tag
Yeah,
it.
yeah, tag it because it's going to be a heavy video. So when if they upload a video of of them reenacting the slow down video, and tag you, what we probably do when you're doing probably a remix down the road, you can then accumulate bits of all these videos to make an extended video.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
dope.
that'd be dope. Yep.
Hmm.
yeah.
To make an extended. Go, Nancy. Nancy,
I
you've been
like
doing
that.
it too long now. Now you turned into a music exec.
Right.
Woody, do
You
you
turned
miss
in.
singing? Because Jackie's just spoken about being away from the stage for such a long time and now slowly making a comeback.
Hmm.
Do you miss performing at all?
Nah. If I get an itch to do it, I just go hit up karaoke real quick and get it out of my system.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't miss it, Woody?
No, I mean it was fun when it lasted, but I'm like I was telling Namdi last week when we was talking. Remember when they had that episode on the Cosby Show when Cliff was telling Theo like I paid for airplane lessons and you ain't want to fly the plane and then I paid for this
Right.
type of lessons you ain't want to do that. Like I did
Right.
that. I was like 19 when I wanted to sing, you know. So it's like for that time, that was the thing to do. That's how you got girls. You know, if a girl found out you could sing, you sing on their answer machine, or maybe you go over their house. And me and my buddy used to leave work and go from our job to girls' houses and sing to them. And sometimes other stuff would happen after we sung and stuff like that. So it's like I look at it as it was fun for that time, you know. And now
Yeah.
I'm in my I guess grown man stage. Not to say that singing not for grown people because it definitely is singing for grown people. But it's like for me now, I just want to be just chilled and relaxed. Like I just want to go to work and come home, you know. And it's
And,
like when I do sing, I like I said, I do a karaoke, or if it's somebody like one of my friends come to town, like if you ever come to town and take your show on the road and do something in this area, I definitely come out and hang out with you, you know. And if I ended up singing as a result of me being there, that'd be cool. And if I didn't, I'd be singing with you along with you from the audience, so that'd be my fix right there too,
well,
you
I
know.
think you need to start learning Make It Last Forever because when I come in the area and we already
Okay,
know I'm in Delaware, you're in Baltimore,
Baltimore,
and
yep.
then so if I got to do something in Delaware or Baltimore or DC, I think you need to be there singing "Make It Last Forever" with me. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, just let me know. Yeah, that's what I say. I remember we talked
But
about
you
that last
got
week.
no
Now I'd be like,
shame.
if it's with my friends,
You're
I'm
right,
there. But as
right,
far
and I
as like
feel
for
you.
me and me doing a project, I just don't have the passion for it no more.
Yeah,
Mm.
Like that was
no, and
that
I feel
time.
you
What
with
you
that.
say? That ship been sailed, man. For me.
Yeah. Well, I would have. I'm with you, Woody. I would have gave it up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just went into interior decorating. Like I keep
Mm-hmm.
going back and forth with that in my head. Should I just
Mm-hmm.
go to school now for interior interior architect and design? And
Mm.
because I'm really good with interior decorating, and I was like, maybe I should just go to school for that, or go to, culinary arts and cook because I cook
Oh
really
yeah.
well.
Oh
So I
yeah.
was like, what? Maybe one of those. But I got a message last last summer from the Most High, and he
Wow.
didn't only give me the message, he showed me in the Bible, where they talk about the talents. Um
Mm-hmm.
and with the parable of the talents, and the
Right.
one that
Right.
hid, the one that hid, everybody else that was
Mm,
making it, stuff, they gained more. And there was
yeah.
one that
Right.
hid his talent. And
Mm-hmm.
when he hid his talent, he was like, when Moses was like, so what you got for me? He was like, well, you don't go over there and you don't do all of that. So I just kept it right here with me. So that
Mm,
person was in trouble because that
Right. Yeah.
person didn't do what the Most High blessed him with. He didn't do
Mm-hmm.
anything with it. So he showed me that clear as day last summer.
Wow.
And I was
Wow.
like, oh man, I'm in trouble. And I was like, I'm going to hell. That's the first thing I thought about. I was like,
Oh my goodness. Oh, we
we're
don't want
coming,
that.
bro. We don't want that. So I
no,
was
but
like,
yeah.
I'm in trouble. So
Mm,
he made it plain to me that I have
Mm-hmm.
to sing. And then I was scared and I said, well, you don't go in those territories. And I said this too. I was saying, Father, you don't go in these territories. He
Mm-hmm.
said, I might not sow in those places, but I reap in those
Mm.
places. So
Mm.
he's like, it's time for you to go do what I need you to do. Because to be honest, I don't necessarily like a lot of the stuff that these artists are doing on stage. So for
Mm-hmm.
me to even go out and do shows, I'm like, oh man, I gotta see all of this because
Right.
that's it's a
Right.
lot and it's heavy.
It is. It
It's
is.
heavy. Spiritually, it's heavy. And my spirit, I'm looking around like, well, I ain't trying to get in trouble with y'all.
Right.
I'm trying to, because I'm getting older and I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here. I want to be right.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know how to feel about this, but I'm just walking. I'm just allowing him to lead my way. Like you didn't even have to
Right.
come on today, Woody, and say I was singing with my friend. Now I'm like
Right.
all excited, talking about yes. But see, how do we know that the Most High didn't ordain that? How do we
You're right.
know he didn't say I'm gonna allow this to happen right now at this
You're right.
time with Woody and Jackie being on with Namdi? Woody
Mm-hmm.
saying I'll come out and sing with my friend.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
I'm
yeah.
just saying. I'm just saying, Woody. I'm just saying.
You're right.
So,
Yeah,
um,
but you're right
that
about that, and I think Tim alluded to that. Tim Kelly from Tim and Bob, he was like, he was slowing down. He wasn't making music. He had his second stroke. He realized I've got all this talent. I need to start to, I've got the gift talent of creating music, so I need to go back out there and just spend as much time just making music and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that I think Woody, we've heard your story about what you had to endure being by ex group members, and walking away was almost a breath of fresh air, like a sense of being
Mm-hmm.
removed from that shackle.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always that hope that actually that gift to sing is always there. I mean, we're not saying to go, making records and going on tour,
Right.
but
Right.
yeah, being able to, you know, think about it. When David played his instrument, and Saul got relieved from what was tormenting him. And
Mm-hmm.
those of you guys who have those gifts, whether it's musicianship,
Right.
songwriting, or singing, there is an anointing that comes out when you utilize
yeah,
that gift. When
Oh,
you
this
can
is
say,
true.
yeah. And so it
It's
is,
very true.
yeah. So, but I guess if it's done in the right environment, as I said, if
Right. That's the key.
I
That's
mean,
the key. The right
look at
environment.
Pamela Long. Pamela,
Mm-hmm.
she was really tempted and torn to go back on tour to Total have reformed to do these Queens of R&B tour with SWV Escape 702, and it was Total. I think Maya is also showing up.
Yeah,
They
I
all
just
came
got
to,
a somebody just sent me something about that, like right
yeah.
before we got on.
So they all reached out to Pamela to say, "Come on, let's do this. Let's reform. We've got this, all the states." She wanted to do it, but she said the Lord was saying, "No, it's not your time."
Mhm.
So she had to listen to that more so because look, she's gone through a lot and she's getting going through a lot. And it's not that she doesn't like to perform, not that she doesn't need the money, but she had
Mhm.
to listen to say,
Yeah,
okay,
a lot
it's
of times it's not about the money, because I tell people quick, I do something that's against like somebody want me to come and sing somewhere on the Sabbath. And if I say okay, it been times where so I just like, okay, I do it just so I don't let anybody down or anything. And something will come up where as though all the money that I made I had to spend on something. Like I locked myself out of my place last time and then it cost me like
Something
exactly
crazy.
what I made to go sing at the little engagement. I had to pay pretty much all that money to a pop a lock person to pop my lock so I could get in that night. So it's like he shows us in so many practical ways, like real ways, like somebody can say, "Oh, you just putting that together." But if we know the Most High, we know that was him, and we know that he dealt with us gently because it could have been something way worse than that. But it's like the fact that anything you made from it, let's say you anything you make it to put into a bag with holes in it. That's the scripture what it say that you make money, but you put it into a bag with holes
Right.
until you're
Mhm.
doing what it is that he
Until
wants you
you
to
do
do. So it's
what he
like
wants.
the money of it, people don't understand. Like we all three of us here understand that, but a lot of people don't understand when people come to you and offer you all these dollar amounts and stuff to do something that is against what the Most High told you to do at the time. Because it's different words for different people. Different people have different,
yeah,
like engagements. Like some people tell me that they feel like that the Most High is calling them to be in that industry, to be a standard bearer, to be a person that's showing, like that it don't have to be done like this or it don't have to be that way. You see what I'm saying? But it's like
I,
me
you know
personally,
what?
I ain't get that
You know
call.
what, Woody? I
Hmm.
feel like, and I ain't mean to cut you off, but that's
No,
what I
you good.
feel like he's doing with me, and
Hmm.
it scared me a little bit. So I've been praying, about it, and I will fast about it as well.
Hmm.
I feel like
Definitely.
he's showing me because I usually don't work on the Shabbat on the Sabbath.
Right,
And for
right.
those that don't know what the Sabbath is usually from Friday night to Saturday night, from sundown
Hmm.
Friday night to sundown Saturday night.
Hmm.
And before they changed it to before one of them Caesars changed it to
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday, right.
So right. So the thing is, even though I do the Shabbat, um, for the last 3 weeks, I haven't been able to not work. I had to work
Oh,
on the
wow.
Shabbat because I'm like, okay, I don't have no, and I'm saying to the Most High, I'm like, okay, Father, what, what's happening? But now I kind of feel like He's showing me because
Hmm.
I read something that made sense to me, and I heard something that made sense to me. When the Messiah is talking and to the disciples, and I mean not to the disciples, he's talking to the Pharisees. And I'm not trying to get so biblical, y'all, but I just wanted to share the story, which I love when Nambi throws the story in because they always right on time. Um, when the Messiah is talking to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they were asking him, well, why your disciples doing something on the Sabbath? And he said, I am the Sabbath.
Hmm.
So when I'm saying, okay, Father, I gotta work because I gotta pay this bill tomorrow and I don't have the money. How do I do this? And I felt in my spirit, I am the Sabbath. you know so and that we don't even, our days are off, so we don't even know if we are even doing it on the right day because everything was thrown off, but that's a whole nother story. But
Right, right.
that's what I keep getting feel in my spirit because people are asking me, can I do shows on a Friday? Well, can you do Friday? And I'm like, I don't know, because that's the Shabbat. So I can do Saturday night, but then what time does the show start Saturday night? So I'm all
Hmm.
like, I don't know what to do. I can do Sunday, I can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. But it's like when the Most High was showing me last summer, I need you to go back and sing. He's putting me out there
Right.
because he knows that I'm going to bring his messages. But I'm like, but what if, how do you know I'm ready? What if it's all kind of shenanigans coming back to me? And then I start, getting beside
That
myself
part.
again. And I
That
guess
part.
he's like, you already know better. You've been rocking for 18 years with me. You know better.
Hmm.
Because if you go backwards now, then that's just dumb. That's probably what he's saying. It's just dumb if you go backwards now. But
Right.
I do. I get nervous. thinking about it, like, how I'm gonna do the Shabbat. I want to keep
Mhm.
the Sabbath because I love keeping the Sabbath. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
nothing is more better than getting sleep. I don't care what
you
nobody
ain't
say.
lying.
Resting
Good, not lying.
and
Just
getting
rest.
that rest and not have
Yeah,
to do anything on that, Friday night to Saturday night when you just
right.
resting. It's the best thing. Oh my God. I started in 2017, and
Hmm.
to me, that is the best. I'm like, thank you, Father, for the for
Hmm.
the for rest. Oh my
People
God.
don't understand. You come
People
back
don't
out like a whole different
understand.
person,
It really does.
and you
It
ready
really
to
does.
face
And
your next the week that's ahead of you after that. It's almost like a reset, like a quick
it
little reset.
is. It
Hmm.
is. It's like everything with the Most High is something. So repent
Hmm.
is change. You
Yep.
restart. You starting all over. It's a
Yeah.
reset, like you said. It's a reset
Hmm.
just to get you ready for that next thing. So
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. I'm
Hey,
nervous.
just pray about it every step of the way, man. It's like, cause as long as you got them with you, wherever you at, then what they say, you plus him
Right.
is a majority, no matter
That's
who you
right.
up against. So it's like, as long as you know that, but it's like, yeah, it's like if he called you to do that, just stick with him and just make sure that you keep your connection strong,
Right.
because you
Right.
already know that the other side is gonna be pulling just as hard as you pulling to do right. They gonna be trying to pull you. All right, well, we got you here, we got you this far. So now let's see if we can get you to do this. All right, come on, yo. Come on, yo. You already here, yo. You might as well do X, Y, Z. So you already know that that's coming. So just be ready, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
And
was
gonna be
it hard
calling
every,
for
you. I'm gonna be
you?
calling you. Talk about Woody.
oh yeah.
What you say? What you say,
No,
Nappy?
I
You
was
said the same
asking
thing to him.
Woody. I was asking Woody how hard was it when they were putting numbers in front of you to go on this Drew Hill reunion tour? Because most people would think, that would have been easy to say, yeah, yeah, of course, why, just that big
Oh
tour
no,
and then
that's
go
that's
home.
not hard for me because I feel like I don't know all. Like I was telling you last week, I don't feel like I know all of my purpose, but I feel like that a big part of my purpose is to be a person that showed that you don't get to treat people any kind of way you want to treat them, and then you just put out the best signal and they supposed to come running. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a part of my purpose to not be a part of that ever again. And I feel like as many people as might be let down as far as like fans and stuff like that, I feel like people who really love me and who really want the best for me would be let down if I let myself. What they say, you lose every time you go back to a relationship that hurt you and made you feel a certain kind of way. So for you just to go back and it's still on their same terms and it's all that's their territory. That's not my territory. So and you putting yourself in a
You
predicament
put that
to be
right.
hurt. Like if the Heavenly Father ain't tell you to go there, it's different if he told you to go there. But if he ain't tell me to go there and I'm going there, that's just like me going to a dangerous neighborhood where as though your mother told you, no, don't hang out over there. And then you
Right.
go over there. And then when something happened to you, then nobody even gonna feel sorry for you because people like ain't nobody told you who told you go over there. Because
Yeah.
they offer you a couple dollars. Because they had
That's
a couple
right.
girls over there for you or
That's
something. Come
right.
on now, you
That's
dummy.
right.
you know.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
I even would tell myself, you dummy. Ain't nobody tell you go over there, so I don't feel sorry for you. You know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, you're
I,
right. That's
I
There's
guess
so
it's.
much more to it than just
I'm
music.
driving while we talking. Y'all go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay.
Oh
Keep
yeah,
safe. Keep safe. I guess it's like it's leaving, keep returning to an abusive relationship, knowing that
that's
it.
exactly what I
Yep.
equated to. And people call, remember that movie with I don't watch a lot of Tyler Perry movies because I don't like the way that he always make men like just scumbags in every movie. But it's like that one that was pretty decent. It was, I mean, it wasn't pretty decent, but I seen this one. I think I was over one of my lady friends' house and they just had it on. So I ended up just like, all right, I'll look at it because it's on. But it was the movie with Lynn Whitfield was the mother and the girl was
Right.
getting abused by the guy that was
Right.
wrestling
And
the
her mother was
country.
trying to push her to go
Yeah,
back.
she just kept trying
Yeah.
to make because she benefited from it. And just like
Right.
what's the burning bed? I used to
Right.
watch the burning bed and get mad when I was little because I don't like to see nobody get picked on and abused like that. But
Right. Right.
her own mother, she came to her mother with a black eye, all beat up, and the mother took her in for a little while. But then after a while, the guy he did what people like abusers do and went back and humbled himself and was looking all sorry. But he appealed to the mother because he know the woman who
Right.
was being abused wasn't trying to hear it. And the mother, oh, he's powerful. Sorry, hon. You should
Right.
go ahead back over there. And then she went back, and what did he do? First time he dinged one eye. The second time he came back, he dinged both up. So
Right.
it's just like, and the people who don't have
Going
let's
back.
say never base your decisions on somebody who don't have to live with the consequences. So the
That's
only
right.
person who had to live with the consequences of that person going back into that abusive relationship is that person. So everybody
Hmm.
else saying what they would like to see and what they think would be good, like none of that don't matter because you the one that know what you went through and you know
That's
what
right.
they probably got waiting for you, especially if you escape. They already mad because you got out instead of them putting you out. You got out on your own, so you come back. Who knows what they got waiting for you this time? You
That's
know.
right.
And of course, they gonna make it look sweet, just like
That's
abuser. They
right.
gonna tell you, "Oh, if you come back home, baby, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like that. I'm not gonna do this no more. I'm not gonna do that no more." And then the first chance when they catch you by yourself, they're like, "Mm-hmm. What was
Right.
that?
The
What,
same
what
way
you
you can
thought you
lose
was
your
doing?"
life in an abusive relationship, going back and going back is the same way you can lose your life even doing music. We can always be somewhere we weren't
Right,
supposed to be. The Most High didn't
right,
tell us to go, and we can lose our
exactly.
lives.
And
Yeah.
I
So,
told y'all the story about me going in Paris when I made the initial decision to
right.
leave. That's what it was. He didn't tell me to go there. He told me to leave before that, and I didn't
That's
leave.
right.
And everybody could have been killed because he
That's
didn't want
right.
me there. You know, so it's like spiritually, it's oil and water. Like I'm not sitting here to, like bash what nobody else is doing or what nobody else enjoys or whatever like that. That's my own personal thing for me. But for the public, I would say it's just like oil and water. It don't mix. So it's like as much as everybody would think they want to see it, you don't really want to see what really would happen.
Right.
And just like I
Right.
told you last week when I used to go to clubs and stuff for the after parties, I can't dance well. So it's like a girl will come up to me and be like, "Oh, dance with me, baby," or whatever. This my song or whatever. And I'll be like, "Nope, I don't know how to dance." They be like, "Oh, what you think you too good? What you stuck up? You ain't even my favorite no way. I just told you." And then so I'll be like, "All right, then I hear all that. I start dancing." And then by the end of the song, she'll tap me like, "You can stop, baby." Because you
Oh
already know
wow.
what you're good at and not good at. So I already know
Wow.
who I am now versus who I was back then. I don't even know how to be that person no more. So it wouldn't last long. And
You
so
should have gone.
I'm
All
like,
you had to do was tell him. I don't. Fat Joe's song probably wasn't out then, but all you had to do
nah,
was
it
say,
wasn't out quite yet.
you need to. All you need to do is put on that Fat Joe song. You
Lean
know,
back.
uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
we don't dance. We just pull
Right.
up our pants and do the rock way. That's what we do. Lean back,
Right.
lean back. That's it. Tell
Right.
her I'll dance.
Right.
He's so funny.
Yeah, but
Wow, that's
when you know
crazy.
how it's gonna go ahead of time, you save yourself. You saving basically people don't understand. Sometimes you saving yourself and everybody else by not doing what everybody wants you to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Saving yourself
that's
some
true.
time and saving everybody else from being frustrated. Like y'all knew this is me. Y'all knew to passive and just laugh everything off or just be mad but do it anyway or whatever. Like this not the same person that's here now. So it's like before we even get involved in any situation where that has the chance to become problematic, just leave well enough alone. Like it's six other dudes up there singing and dancing. We ain't millionaire, not being there ain't gonna make no difference for real. Only for one day so everybody can ooh and ah, oh he's back. And that's another thing. Look, think about it like this. A person who want to have sex with somebody, and a lot of times it'd be a guy that want to have sex with the girl. And then after he get it, he don't even like her no more anyway. He be like, oh, I started to see everything that was wrong with her face after we did it or whatever. So then the person who ain't
Wow.
want to do it anyway, the girl messed around and didn't want to give him nothing no way. So she messed around and went against what she wanted to do anyway and went and did it. And now what you get? Nothing. Then all you doing, I knew I shouldn't have did that. I knew I shouldn't have gave you that. You feel
That's
me?
why we got slow down right now. That's why we got slow down and move too
That's
fast.
why you are. That's why I believe that you are sent because your messages is always something that we can listen to. Like that, your last one, "Riches of the World."
Rest of the
It's
world.
like things. It's like you making music that people can still move to and they can feel. But if they listen long enough, what Fat Albino say, if you're not careful, you might learn something before it's
Right.
done.
Right. Might learn
That's
something.
why I rock with you. You know.
Thank you, Woody. You know I rock
Oh,
with you
most
too,
definitely,
baby. You my
most
brother.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Slowdown.
Um,
Definitely,
You
as I
know
said, I
what's
love
up.
the story behind the video, which you don't really get. You don't really get a song and a story that says, just take your time and build this relationship. If Sexy Red, if she did the remix, she would say, okay, what took you so long?
it's done. The whole thing is done. It's like, oh man, y'all did it already. So the remix is can we have coffee another day? That's the remix, you know. It's a whole
Yeah.
different, you know, we done did it already. And that's the but see that's what's part of slowing down now. I'm slowing down now the way I see it is a lot of these fast and a lot of these adults are moving too fast. You have all these people getting
Yeah.
BBLs done and all this stuff, and they want to show all they don't want to wear no bras, and then they don't have no drawers on, and it's just it's getting so out of hand. It's like, what do you
Mm-hmm.
leave to the imagination of a man that might want to court you, want to take you out and
Right.
just get to know you. So that's what we did in the video. I said, I don't want it to be the guy that's always the one that's pushing up on a chick. I want it to be the chick that pushes up on the dude. And the crazy
Oh, that
thing is,
definitely happens
she's
too.
tall. She's so tall. Huh?
Oh, shit. I say that definitely
What you
happens
say?
too. That happens a lot.
No, and it does.
So
It does.
you right.
So
That's good that you point that out.
these
Yeah.
girls, and I'm telling you, these girls with all these BBLs and carrying on now. So it's like they have so much, going on with what they doing with their bodies and all this other stuff that everything is instant gratification. Everything is sex, sex,
Right.
sex, sex, sex.
Right.
There's no, I don't need to get to know you. I see your butt. I see
Yep.
I see the print of your vagina.
Yep.
Because they got these little shorts on, and
And
it's
you gotta
true.
hope that
They
that's
got
even
all
a
these little
vagina
tight
because
shorts
they
on.
got on Temu, they got these things you put in your underwears and make it look like it's a print of a coochie or something. So it's like
No.
it might be a Wayne Wayne for real. So you gotta be super careful out here nowadays. For
Yeah.
real.
But I guess, and that's the
No,
unfortunate thing
you
with the. Yeah, so what's happening to our kids? These are songs and videos and stuff that they're
Yeah.
watching and stuff, and I think it's one of the disappointing things about modern R&B is
Mhm.
that it's used to be the one that was there to talk about. You think about what Luther used to do, and those around that time singing songs of love and inspiration and hope and stuff.
Yeah, don't
And
be a
when
fool
that's
and all that.
yeah,
Now
when
they
all
say lingerie not even sexy no more because they wearing with Air Maxes out in the street.
right.
You
yeah.
see whatever you want to see. Like,
That that's true. That's
yeah,
true. They
Yeah.
wearing lingerie outside with
yep,
their sneakers on.
yep,
So it's nothing is left to the imagination. So
Yeah.
it's
right.
like, slow down. I pray that the most high move slow down
Mm-hmm.
throughout, you know, our people through the world,
Yeah,
whoever. When I say our people, I just mean people in general. But
right.
our people too, because our people
Mm-hmm.
they out here doing the most right now.
Oh
And
yeah,
and I've never seen so many bonnets. Is that like a new style to wear the bonnets in
yeah,
in those little baby shorts with
yep.
with no panties on and carrying? I'm just done. I'm just like, wait. I
And you're
keep
not
my
even supposed
daughter
to
so
look when
close.
you see them, and you do look. They be like, "What is you looking at?" Like they look at you like
Right.
you tripping because you might just be in shock because you're not used to seeing that outside. You know,
And
and
I
they cuss
know,
you out for looking.
and now the girls, the girls are like, oh, you looking at me because you like me? Because, I can be a chick looking at like them like that's a lot going
Oh
on.
yep,
And,
yep.
and I had a girl like rap to me in Atlanta. She was like, "Can I be
Oh
your
yeah.
sugar baby?" I never heard of a sugar baby. What is that? Where do we do that at? That's like
Oh man.
a older woman with a young girl or something. I never heard of it,
Yeah.
and I was grossed out. I wanted to throw up. I was like, "Wait, oh
Yeah.
no!" But all I could do was say, "Baby, y'all go ahead, go. See y'all. Have a nice time. Whatever y'all do." 'Cause I don't know what you're talking about.
For real.
But
So,
it is. It's crazy. But prayerfully, like I said, slow down will touch a lot of people.
I pray it will.
And I'm praying, I'm praying. I'm touching agreeing with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
You and
Mm-hmm.
Nambi. I'm touching and
yeah.
agreeing. Most I said
Yes,
when
indeed.
two or more come together, he's in the midst. So
That's right.
I know he's in the midst and he hears. And he said, knocking the door shall open, seeking you shall find, asking it shall be given
Mm-hmm.
to you. So we
That's
asking, Father, we knocking, and we seeking.
Yeah.
it.
Woo woo, we seeking. So yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, hopefully, as I said, anyone who can reenact the slowdown video and then post it and tag Jackie,
yeah,
and
tax
she
me.
will be able to see. A question somebody asked earlier was that was it fair that Brian McKnight seems to be getting cancelled because of his relationship or lack of relationship with his children from his first marriage, and almost when he does perform, there is a narrative of, oh, you just left your kids for somebody else, and without us understanding the complexities of what he might be going through and what the dynamics of the family, it's just that it's been spawned from one area, and it hasn't helped the
You
fact
know,
that he. Go ahead.
right? That he had the new little family and all of that. Well, you know what? For our people now, this Jackie talking to our people, y'all. Stop paying attention. Y'all got to stop judging every situation because you don't know the whole situation. Now,
Exactly.
we weren't there, so we don't know.
Exactly.
It's always his side, the mama
Mm-hmm.
side, and the truth. And the Most High knows
Exactly.
the truth. And a lot of times we get involved because we want to take a side and say, "Oh no," because I heard such and such and such. Just like they made Bobby the
Mm-hmm.
bad guy with Bobby and Whitney. Bobby was not the bad guy.
Right.
Whitney was already getting high. She didn't need Bobby's help, but Bobby was getting high too. So the thing is, we don't, we're quick to judge
Yeah.
situations when we
Right.
don't know what the situation is. Personally, um, it's a lot of artists I could say that I don't care for, but at the same time, just because I don't like you doesn't mean I'm gonna take a side and say,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, yeah, he did it or she did it. Yeah, they did it.
Right.
They
Right.
guilty." I don't know. I wasn't there. So how we know? He shouldn't be losing no shows for people,
Right.
saying that to him because that's wrong. For them to hold him accountable.
Yeah.
That's wrong. We weren't there. We don't know what happened. We don't know if the mother,
Exactly.
and there's a lot of black women that do this. Now, I'm not talking against my black women, but it's a lot of them that do this. We speak against the fathers when our relationship didn't go right with the dads or with our
Mm-hmm.
husband or with the boyfriend. When our relationships don't go right, then we automatically talk bad about, the dad. Um, I'm still married. I'm getting a divorce. I've been separated for 10 years, but
Right.
we really stopped messing with each other like 4.5 years ago. But so I'm celibate. I've been by myself. But the thing is, you know, I don't talk bad about my husband only if he clown it. Now, if you clown it, I'm talking about you. Because now you're doing something that's gonna, now you're doing something that's gonna affect my daughter. I have a
Right.
problem with that. So I'm gonna say, oh no, 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 you can't be around her and whatever, whatever. But what I do tell my daughter is, you know, regardless of what, girls love their daddies. And my daughter, she love her dad. But
Mm-hmm.
anything crazy that he does, she's at that age. She's like, wait a minute, but
Mm.
what? So let her make her own, you know, decisions
Right.
and let her see for herself. Don't plant that seed of he ain't shit. Sorry, y'all, but I'm just saying, he ain't this, he
Yeah.
ain't that. That
Yeah.
mofo ain't come over
Mm-hmm.
bring me no money. I ain't get them to, child support court to get my money. They don't understand that child support court is a system that's set up against us. So when you take our men to child support court and they can't pay, just if they can't pay, they lock them up. What does that do? You still ain't getting a check. So you just, oh, I'm
Exactly.
happy they locked up. So now your child's dad is locked up
Right.
all because you ain't getting a check. It's still not making you get a check. And
Mm.
that's a system that's, it's a systematic thing. Not saying that guys shouldn't take care of their babies, but and
Right.
I'm gonna say this, and this the last thing I'm gonna say, because um what we forget is when we lay down with somebody, this is why I say slow down. Because when we lay down with somebody, we're so quick to be like, oh, he in love with me. or he goes, that's my chick, that's my chick. And it's all sexual, it's all lust, it's lust of the
Yeah.
flesh
Mhm.
instead of being love. And we confuse love with lust. And
Mm.
when the girl ends up getting pregnant and the dude is like, I don't want no baby, because we forgot he was never really in love with me. He was in lust with
Exactly.
me, and
Mm.
I got
Exactly.
pregnant. Now he don't want to be attached to. Oh, I don't want to be attached to that. I just wanted to be attached to your vagina. I don't want to be attached
Exactly.
to you and having a baby. So we got to look at the bigger picture of
Yeah.
what we're
Mhm.
creating. That's why slow down. Let somebody get to know you. Don't jump into bed with nobody. Get to know them.
Right.
You
That's
know,
right.
because you're gonna pick up a whole bunch of demons on the way, trying to find
Mhm.
out who people are. Picking
Mhm.
up picking up little Bob, Harry, little Johnny, all of them. They all be in you. Next thing you know, you like,
Yeah.
I'm
That's why they
Goofy.
call people bipolar. That's seed from leftover. You know, like a woman retains something from each guy that
That's
she's
right.
intimate with. So
That's
it's like
right.
when they think somebody acting bipolar, they acting like all the different people that they done been with.
Yeah.
One might
That's
come
right.
out one day, another one might come out. And
That's right.
also with that Brahmin Night thing, man, I also blame social media too, man.
Yes,
It's what
I
they
do
say, the
too.
same thing that make you laugh or make you cry. Because it's a beautiful
Yep.
thing to be able to come to social media and to have a platform where as though you can come and speak and feel heard. But a lot of things that some people choose to air out on those platforms is stuff that should be worked out inside the family. Like it shouldn't even come
Yeah.
outside the house. Like I was raised, and it's not really a racial thing. I think it's to go for everybody. But the way I was raised, my mama said you don't bring up home family business in front of other people. You know, like so
Right.
nobody should know if y'all beefing, if y'all having this family problem or this group issue or whatever. It shouldn't even get out to the public. It should be worked
Mm.
out in between the people who is involved. But nowadays, people use social media to try to get people on their side. You know, like
Yeah.
people like,
Yeah.
hey guys, we shouldn't like this guy. He's this way or whatever. He did this or he did that. So y'all shouldn't like him. Y'all shouldn't buy his albums no more because he don't acknowledge us. You know, like that stuff that y'all should work out, and not in his situation and in situations. Period. Like
Yeah.
even in my old situation, it's like if we choose to not do music together, then that should be between us. You know, and whatever all the details should be between us, not go on your social media. Everybody tell Woody to do the right thing. Like what the heck? Right, cool. I thought I was doing the right thing over here trying to serve the Heavenly Father. So the right thing to you
Right.
and the right thing to me is two different things. But why even
Right.
involve people that didn't even ask to be involved? Like people bring people into their mess with social media, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said,
Right.
I'm grateful for social media. I love social media. Like I come on, I learn. I listen to platforms like yours and I get to hear Namdi, like a lot of my favorite artists growing up tell their stories and how things were, and how some of my favorite songs came about and stuff like that. So I love it for that. But then you
Right.
go the next suggested video behind that be a whole bunch of gossip and people putting out business that don't belong being put out. So it's like it's a double edged sword, and it's up
It
to
is.
us as individuals to choose which
Yeah.
sides that we turn into and to choose what we and make decisions for ourselves. Like you said,
Yeah.
Jackie, like we none of us was there, so it's like for us to sit there and oh no, he done that. Oh no, he like that or whatever like that. That's not for us to say because we don't know them people 9 times out of 10.
Mm.
And if we
Right.
Yeah.
do know the crazy thing about the people who do know the people is probably the ones keeping the most quiet. And they ain't
Yeah.
saying nothing. But the
Yeah.
people who don't know nobody, or so a lot of times people try to equate situations with celebrities and try to make them like they situations. You know, like so if somebody abused them, then the first time that a celebrity get accused of abusing somebody, they automatically want to see the celebrity rot in jail or rot in hell or whatever like that. Well, whole time the person that abused them, they might still eat family dinner with them every Sunday, but
Right.
they put all their anger out on the person who the media say you're supposed to be mad at or who
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
general public say you supposed to be mad at. Like, oh, we don't like him. You know, like I did somebody did a live and I was at one of my homeboys have a clothing store and he just for fun they pull out the microphone and do karaoke. So I was in there singing and everybody in there we was vibing, just having a good time. Somebody in the thing came up in the comments was like, oh no, we don't like this nigga. He broke up our favorite group. We don't like him. So it's like what do one thing had to do with the other one? But that's the power of social media. Give everybody a voice. All the trolls, all the lurkers and the demons. And the sad thing about it, that same person might see you one on one and want to have a hug and
Yeah.
take a picture with you. But
Right.
because they feel
Right.
like
Yeah.
it'll get them a whole lot of likes and stuff on social media to say stuff like that, then that's what they go on there and say. It was
Yeah.
crazy when that happened. It was like a friend of mine, a female friend of mine, that knew the guy who put that up there, or whatever. So she's like, I was gonna go out with him, but I see he do clown stuff like this. I ain't even gonna talk to him no more. So she cut him off, and then next time I seen him, he was real like apologetic. Oh, I ain't know, yo, my bad, yo, and this, that, and that. I'm just like, yo, why do people not think before they, what did the
You know
person do
what's
to you?
crazy? When
What's
I
that?
when I see somebody leave a group,
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever think it's because of them. I always think either the person got kicked out of the group, the people was like, we don't want them, or I think that the person is not getting the shine that they deserve and they leave. That's the two
Mm,
things I always think about with a group member. I'm like, okay, either they wanted them out because, whatever reason, or
Mm-hmm.
the person just said, "Yeah, let me just part ways because I'm not getting my shine." And I
Yeah,
don't think,
or
like
your
you
money,
said,
or your so
yeah, or
many
your
things.
money, whatever. Yeah. And that's definitely a part of it. A lot of times, people are not getting their money. But I
Mm-hmm.
gotta get my daughter, y'all. So
yeah.
it's time for me to get off.
Well,
Okay, bet.
We can stay
yeah.
on here for 2 hours, y'all know.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, so guys, if you are
Two.
making a video for Slowdown, if you can tag Jackie McGhee either in Instagram or on Facebook, then it might be selected to be part of an extended remake of Slowdown, the video and stuff.
Alright.
So yes, but yeah, Jack, people have been asking. I think it was Tara was asking where to be able to get the single.
The single is out on all streaming services right now. So you can get it on everything, on Apple Music, Amazon, um, what else sells it? I was like, what else? Where else you get it? All the streaming services. That's all I know.
I'm about to
I'm
stream as soon as I get off here. I'm gonna stream it a
well,
bunch of times.
Yes,
Good
definitely,
Sabbath, good
definitely.
Sabbath listening. Something to relax me to get into my Shabbat for real.
Oh,
right.
yes.
What I do want is, and I don't know. I'm gonna say this so Namdi, when you do cut it up and you put the stuff, put your little things out too. Um, I would love for people to go watch the video because the video really is not only listening to the song. The video tells a story,
Mm,
and I really want people to watch the video so they can, you know, really feel the story of slowing down. And the guys just we're in Brooklyn in New York, and he's just showing her. And actually, that day that we shot, it was the birthday of the Brooklyn Bridge. It was like I don't know how many years old it was,
mm.
and they were celebrating the birthday of the bridge. So it was like, all these boats were going by. I was like, all these people behind us while we were filming. People kept calling me Erica Badu. They were like, "Are you Erica?" And I said,
Oh
"I'm
snap!
older. I'm older. I'm older."
Y'all do favor
But
now that you mentioned it. I never thought of that before, but y'all do.
oh my gosh, they would call me Erica Badu. Oh my gosh. But so, you know, the thing that was captured in the video was the fact that, he was spending time with her. He was, at the Brooklyn Bridge. He's talking about the boats. He's talking about the bridge, how old the bridge is. And, we did have some scenes where they were sitting down together, but we didn't use those scenes. Sitting, to picnic type of thing. And then crazy me, I was supposed to have a bottle of wine to say no, she was gonna pull a bottle of wine out her pocketbook, and I left the stuff. So we didn't use it. But yeah, I'm just I would be so grateful if you guys just, really watch the video and share it.
yeah,
Um, share the song to your friends, even if it's your grandmama and them and your aunties, because there's some people that's 23 and they got grandmas, and
yeah,
you know,
You know,
that's our era of people, the 90s era of people. So share the
mm-hmm.
song with everybody. I really believe that if we all share um each other's music, that we can make each other's records, you know, sell platinum status or whatever. It's just by sharing it and saying, "Yo, did
Right.
you hear that? Yo, did you hear that?" And we don't care about that platinum album and all that other stuff, but
Mm,
that's how we help each other, and that's how we help to build. So we won't need record labels. We can push indie artists and push each other. You know,
yeah.
Right.
because there's
Well.
nothing for nobody to buy. If we all bought, if we 10 people came to us in a week and said, "Oh, we got 10 new songs," and they $1.49 a song, and we like, "Oh, I got that," so I'm gonna buy 10
Right.
people's song. And then
Right.
you got another 10. If we did that and we just supported artists, like every week we got a little budget, we got a little
Mm.
$20. We're gonna take our little $20 and we're gonna buy 20 people's song if it's 99
Right.
cents, you know, then we just help 20 people. So it's like we gotta do that for each other. People can always send me stuff to my Instagram. I'm good for posting in my story. I like to post other people's stuff. Just don't send me no vulgar stuff. If it's nasty, I ain't posting it.
Oh goodness. Well, yeah, please do support the single. It is we talk about needing good R&B and music in this age, and this is an opportunity to definitely do so. So, Jackie, we will let you go, and
Thank you, thank
yes,
you, thank you.
and as I
Thank
said,
you,
people will
Nambi.
tag you if they can make their own version of Slowdown video. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Nambi. I gotta say thank you, thank you, thank you, because I know it's your bedtime. So thank you. I always love coming on with you. I always love coming on with Woody because that's my boy.
Oh
And the
yeah,
crazy
you
thing,
already
y'all,
know.
Nambi introduced me to Woody. Like that's
Yep.
how we met. So
Uh,
we family now. So,
that's right.
Nambi's just doing this beautiful thing that the Most High has him doing, and he's
For
connecting
real.
people. He's connecting, he's making moves. So, Nambi,
Hmm.
I need to come to the UK to perform. So, tell your people that Jackie need to come and perform, you know, so
Okay.
we can get that going. Um,
That's
Definitely.
right.
but no, y'all have a good night. Thank you,
All
thank
right
you, thank
now.
you.
Bye
And y'all
shalom.
go out and watch the video. See y'all.
See you, Jackie.
Hey,
Love you
All right.
guys.
how
Be blessed.
you?
Okay. Wow. So, what time does your Sabbath start then?
On sundown, I think it's around like 8:30 tonight.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. As we kept saying that, just before we wrap up, yeah, we've been doing this since it is 20 minutes to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
20 minutes to one. Yes, I know you said you did message me that you might start late and stuff. So we tried to string it out as long as we could until
Yeah, no, I
until you
appreciate it. I was hoping y'all was still gonna be on
yeah,
when I
yeah,
got in, but I hurried up. I put a little more pep in my step than what I usually would, because I usually
yeah,
get in like right at the time where I'm supposed to just wind down. But I made it
yeah,
in a little bit earlier. All praise to the
yeah.
Most High.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. Well, I mean,
Hmm.
as I said, yeah, it is about 20 to 1, but yeah, we will but we'll try and do it again I'll give you more notice so that is it much difference between Friday and Saturday? Is it easier
Yeah,
for you Saturday?
Saturdays is cool. Saturdays is pretty much cool because I'm in. I'm not doing nothing. I mean, well, I'm resting, but it's like I
Okay.
take a little bit of time out my rest to talk about something that could possibly help somebody.
Yeah.
Possibly somebody might be in a similar predicament and they might be able to relate and hear somebody else, like, because a lot of times when I listen to your broadcast, people be telling their story. I'm like, dang, that sound like me, or I could relate to that, and it'll help you. It's encouraging.
Mm, yeah,
So it's like I
definitely.
wouldn't break it to talk about like foolishness or to talk about anything that is like just like puffing myself up or making me look like this great individual, whatever, like that. But if telling like some of my story from the past might help somebody else, I feel like that's almost borderline, like basically low key ministry.
Yeah.
So it's like that's okay to do on the Sabbath. But as far as like shopping and all that stuff, like the deal that you in the outside world, like I try to. The scriptures say we're not supposed to buy or sell and stuff like that. So I try to do as close as I can to what the scriptures say.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's it's about setting examples. I know Brian mentioned that there were some things that Jackie said that really touched Brian, and I'm sure people who watch this will look and say, you know,
Yeah.
you'd rather, you wouldn't sacrifice your happiness and peace for more money and stuff like that.
Right. They say if it costs you your piece is too expensive, man. It don't matter. You can't put a price tag on your piece and your
yeah,
you know this because you deal with mental health and it's a big thing now. It wasn't so much a big thing back in those days like we talked about before. But
yeah,
it's like your mental health is priceless. So if something is costing you that, being around certain energies, being around certain spirits and stuff like that,
yeah,
costing you and they not trying to change, then it's like all you can do is remove yourself from that situation and to go back
yeah,
for money. That's really the definition, like selling your soul. Like people make selling your soul sound so foreign and so abstract or whatever like that, or you had to let somebody prick you with something and all that type of stuff. It's
yeah,
I'd say it's as simple as you doing something that's against your conscience, against your beliefs, and against how you know, like how you feel deep down in your heart, and you doing it for some money. You
yeah,
selling your soul for real. And I
yeah,
don't believe in doing that.
definitely.
More power to somebody else. Like I said, I don't knock nobody else. Everybody, I believe in live and let live. And each individual doing what it is that they individually feel compelled to do. But as far as me personally,
Yeah,
same way I don't try to make nobody else do nothing. I'm not big on just sitting there and letting somebody else make me do nothing either. Because I live more than half of my life being what is called a people pleaser. And at the end of the
mm,
day, that don't get you nothing. And the same people, a lot of times, who you went out of your way to help or to make happy, they will not even consider any of the things that you did before then. Like Beyonce have a song on her first album called I
mm,
think it's called Yes, and he was talking about the first time I said no, said all the things that she agreed to do, all the things that she did for this person, but the first time she said no to them, it's like she never said yes in the first place. And
mm,
that's really a real life song. Like I'm not really a big fan of Beyonce and her music, but that particular song right there can definitely get some airplay on my airwaves because it's so real and so true. It's like people, you could do everything for a person, and the
mm,
one time that you either can't do something or you don't want to do something, then they will forget all the million things that you
yeah,
did good for them, and you will automatically just turn into a bad guy and a villain. You know,
it's true. It's
like I
true.
was supposed to quit the group after the first. Wasn't even supposed to be in a group that people saw. I decided to leave the group before we even signed the contract. Like when we were in rehearsal for our first show, and the guy asked me to give it a year, and I didn't give it 1 year. I gave it like 5. So all them 5 years that I gave is not nothing because I don't want to come back and do something. Now I'm a bad guy, and
Mm.
everybody need to do interventions and send this person to call me and that person to call me and stick the fans on me and stuff like that. When I was supposed to be gone a long time ago. Like y'all don't
Yeah,
count them 5 years that I already gave. But I'm just saying that's my story. But I'm just saying other people can probably apply this to
yeah.
their lives.
People
But
have
that's what
said
it's
that.
about for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know,
People have said that they can definitely relate. Okay, well, guys, we wanted to thank you for. I know it's gone on for 2.5 hours, so
goodness
we did
gracious.
stand down long to capture Woody's, but hopefully another time we can come back and have
Oh yeah,
a full hour and a half and stuff. So that would definitely be great and stuff.
yeah,
But
good. You know
anyway,
how we do,
but yeah,
brother.
yeah, definitely. Well, I want to thank everyone for showing up and attending. And yes, go support Jackie McGhee. Slow down. Just search it in YouTube and stuff, and you see the video there.
Most
So
definitely.
yeah. So until next time, great seeing you, Woody.
Hey,
And
always a pleasure,
yes,
bro.
have a great Sabbath, and we'll
Thank
definitely
you. You
talk.
too.
Okay,
Peace and blessings.
take care.
All right now.